Big boys, solid week.
Yes, sir. Yeah, very solid week. Yeah,
has a fantastic weekend and be safe.
Yeah, make sure you be safe, guys.
So I want to let you guys know we did just get the U.S. federal budget balance. So it came in at positive $27 billion versus the forecast here of negative $30 billion. Just a quick update there. Not a huge number, but worth noting as we send you over to the guys in the afternoon show.
Thank you very much, Adara. I got to admit, like, the taco's very filling. I attempted to have my regular lunch on top of it and wasn't quite able to finish it, which usually I can throw that down even when we get stuff. I can still eat the full salad lunch. But Taco Fridays, everybody. We certainly
thank
enjoyed
you for
it.
All the super chats.
Great midday. I know. Did Joe crush that while you guys were? Oh, okay.
Yeah, Joe's loving it.
Yeah, Joe was absolutely loving it. And thank you guys for all the super chats so we could do that. It's always enjoyable. You know, we like to have a little bit of fun around here. We appreciate it all. And
up the chat.
And everyone in here.
Oh boy, indeed.
I just heard some oh boy from Adara. Their mic, I think, is still on, everybody. But yeah, welcome back. The market is looking Friday, very Friday-ish. When we left you, Bitcoin was at 118. Well, I have Intel up for some reason. Who cares about Intel? Let's put something up that matters. Sure, I had a reason for that.
I mean, yeah.
Oh, no, I was going to say. Bitcoin was at 118 or around there when we left you. The futures were the Nasdaq was pretty much just barely red. And that's exactly where we are now. I kind of feel like, you know, we've bounced a little bit, but we haven't broken the range. Bitcoin has been an abject, look, it was a great flyer, gapping up overnight and dragging all of the altcoins with it. But the actual party today, unless you bought like a deep dip buy, it's exactly where it was at the open, though looking a little bit stronger. My eyes in the afternoon is on some of the crypto plays because like you're starting to round into higher lows, and maybe we're just gonna get the breakout late. It actually looks like it's about to do it right now through 67. So yeah, maybe we make this run past 118 in the afternoon on a Friday.
Yeah, welcome back, everybody. Only a couple more hours left until the end of the day. It'll be Adair and I on the recap show. We should have some fun there. We'll have Steve Talman joining us from Trade the Pool as well, so we'll get some ideas from him. But yeah, welcome to the show. We're excited to have you guys back. We're still in this Oscar health. It just went down to the lows of the day. We took some more out, so we'll wait for that one to fill out. And unfortunately, we don't have much left. But Amazon, right there off 222, still going higher as the market tries to go green. And yeah, crypto not doing a whole heck of a lot right now, but today's been definitely a day for the cryptocurrencies and especially some of these altcoins right here. We'll just run through some of them right now. There's Bitcoin at 17.6, up 3.5. Ethereum at 29,999, almost at that $3,000 mark. XRP, hallelujah for that one, up another 13% today, over 280 right now. You guys know that we were trying to buy, well, we were buying some down there, 220, 230. So that's turned out to be good. I don't want to sell any of these though. Solana up 2.5% as well. Binance Coin up that 3 points as well, 3 percentage points. Dogecoin nicely cooking as well, up 13% to 21 cents. And then Cardano, what's up? That's up 12% as well. And then Stellar's the biggest one now for some reason, up 25%. So hey, there's not an Hedera coin, it's a Hedera coin. There it is right there. Hedera coin, yes. Hedera coin right there. Yes, really. Yes,
10%?
that is for sure. With an H. Right there. So, yeah, the over/under on the old boys next week is 500. You set that, Neil, or someone did in the chat?
No. Somebody said it. I just said over. That's all.
Yeah, me too. I'm way over that number right there. So we have
7 days, 70.
Obi and Neil in for 7 days.
No, it's not.
That's why it's over. Yeah, that's why it's over. Wow. If you're talking about if you stop counting the half day, maybe that would be right. But anyways, we're ready to go for Obi next week. Should be a good one. Yeah, we'll get to all these super chats. Mark, the realtor, wants us to look at Aura on the chat. Meme coin Aura going alpha. Crazy. So Aura meme coin. Okay. I mean, we can look at, I guess you want me to look at coins then, right? So let me just check this out just real quick. We're just getting ready. Sharif's going to get all locked and loaded here in a minute. AURA. Okay, Aura coin. Yeah, okay, up 16% there. Yeah, without knowing too much about any of these coins, right? I mean, there it goes right now, near the highs as well. Wow, yeah, this was literally 0, 0, 0, 0. Like, this is the thing. Like, wow, man, anyone that's on this Aura coin, you just made like thousands of percent. Like, what is up with this coin? Shout out to Mark, the realtor, right there. Wow, this was trading at an 0.0008. is what it is down here. And then now it went to 20 cents. What kind of a How do I figure out a return on that one? But anyways, wow on that. What is this coin, by the way? But wow, okay, Aura.
Usually ones move like that.
That one has
nobody
good
knows.
aura. I don't know, but that's a big one there.
Wow.
But okay, shout out to Mark the Realtor. Congratulations on that one.
Oh my God.
Yeah, man, you rich. You rich, if you long on that one, man. Forget making Bitcoin look silly. Aura coin, Neil.
Aura coin is she.
Yeah, that's the.
That's all you could do.
You don't need to win on any dice games for that one. That's
Not at all.
That's a big one, man. That's what we're all hoping happens. Yo, Mark the Realtor, man.
You gotta get
Super chat this one. It's at 0008.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying? And then you know, we'll put a couple $1,000s in that, and then we'll have party real nice like.
Then we'll go to Vegas.
That kind of stuff. We'll go more to Vegas, man. Buy
just wanna
some
go to Vegas.
hotels, man. Joe always dressed like
True.
he's going to the clubs into Vegas.
Which is exactly why we know it's capped that he's not going to do anything this weekend.
I mean, not do anything. What's he supposed to do?
Oh, Joe in the midday show, Joe was talking about how it's the summer. He's got the weekend. His girlfriend is away, so obviously he's just going to sit around and do nothing and chill because the weather will be gorgeous.
Yeah, he'll be working out. He'll be running around. He'll be taking Milo out.
So he said he was going to be sitting on the couch like this.
Oh, good. So that's
gonna be
better.
just like this.
That is exactly what I'd be doing too. But I can't get away. We have our fourth date night is tonight. We're gonna go grab some Indian food. So we're ready to go. So the wife and I have been doing it all as the kids are. When the kids are away, the adults
Katinas will play.
Yeah, we play all the time, but we're playing even harder. And golfing this weekend, and then a whole bunch of fun stuff for Boston, including hockey and just a whole bunch of stuff. So we're really excited. I went to the bank and got some USD, 140 they charge there for that. So
Back to when we started.
Got some US dollars in the pocket right now.
That's what it was when we started. It was like 140. And it got to almost a par, and then right back to here. When I say when we started, I don't mean when the show started. I mean when we started trading 20-something years ago. Sharif is locked and loaded and ready to go.
Mark the Realtor calling $3 there.
$3 on Aura.
He's like, yo, dude, get it now. It's 20 cents. Might as well get it until it goes to $3.
Okay.
All right. On the midday show, you guys vote for what names you want us to look at. So let's go over to Sharif and figure out what exactly those names are.
Welcome, everyone, to the Afternoon Rundown, the show where you decide what we talk about every afternoon. The big boys are locked and loaded, and they're ready to look at the takers as decided by you. But the only way to get those takers up there is to join Joseph and I on the midday show and get into that chat and vote for your favorite takers every day. Super easy to vote. Throw in that $sign and then your 3, 4, or 5 letter ticker. Let's start by looking at all 4 major averages. The NQ just went flat on the day. It's the best performing of all 4 major averages, with the Russell 2000 far underperforming its peers, down 1%, the ES down 0.2, and the Dow down a bit lower than 0.6. So a bit of a sell the news kind of day today on the market. NVIDIA, the number 1 name as decided by you guys. Jensen Huang meeting with Donald Trump yesterday in D.C. at the White House before his trip to China, guys, where it's expected that there will be announcements for new China-specific chips. We'll keep you guys posted.
Oh, 100%. And that's going to be the big story for sure, because this is the big, everyone wants a China deal. It happens. There we go. Everyone wants a China deal. And NVIDIA chips are the bargaining point. So until you figure out until China gets theirs, ain't gonna be no deal. So everyone wins.
What is going on with Amazon?
Well, everything's breaking higher. I haven't heard.
No, the market's not doing anything.
I haven't heard news in my ear. I think all day. It's weird.
I don't know. I have the news.
Maybe there isn't. Maybe there isn't anything going on. Oh, just very quickly. Look, NVIDIA. It wasn't on the list for me to trade, so that's the only excuse for not having this breakout, which, in hindsight, seems obvious. Because look, it seems obvious. But we joined it when it got to 166. It played up to the 167.5, and now it's relatively weak. They tried it back in here at the 66 level, and it just couldn't work. Once in and out, just small loss, another time in and out, more or less flat. It's just not really holding on. The market is at the high, probably being dragged up by Amazon. Well, Tesla's actually kind of strong today. But the market's at the high, which I would say we're in an uptrend. It's flat, but we're in an uptrend in the Nasdaq, very much. And all of a sudden, NVIDIA is no longer the thing driving it, despite the fact that it's up 1%. So we get to wait over the weekend. I don't hold anything against it that it had a bit of a pullback and might not hold on to all these gains. We're talking about all-time highs here, and every breakout is just another one, and over the 4 trillion mark and all of that good stuff. So there's going to be profit taking. It's going to slow down. That's just how a gigantic name, when it breaks out like this, is going to behave. Like it's difficult for it to sustain meme craziness for a full day. It's not that kind of stock anymore. It's too big for that. But it's still fantastic when you do get that rush.
Yeah, we're going to talk about Amazon in a minute, but it just ripped up there. We're almost we are $4 now. Okay, maybe a couple upgrades in there came in midday. Okay, well, Sharif's going to go back over the desk, and we are going to discuss Amazon in a minute. But just, yeah, thanks, Mark the Realtor, for another super chat there, mentioning that Amazon's going aura crazy. And yeah, it is, man, up to 226.50. We'd written down here 222, but let's go find the story from Sharif.
Yeah, so I reported to you guys about the Morgan Stanley upgrade where they raised their price target to $300 with the bull case guys being $350. But Piper and JP Morgan also coming in late on the day today with comments of their own. Piper maintaining overweight rating, raising the price target on Amazon from 212 guys up into about 250. JP Morgan also maintaining their overweight rating and raising the price target to 255. I believe the previous price target was 240. So 3 upgrades today, or maintaining of high ratings and price target increases, boys.
All right, so I have it written down here as a #1 trade idea for me today. There was Amazon, long dip by here. If the market drops, let's take the long. And it was the upgrade there from Morgan Stanley. Sharif just described a few more things there. So we have this written down. It's a big trade, obviously. It's going to be my... Yeah, well, this and Oscar battling, and Oscar's not on there, but it's in the account still. But anyways, both these trades hit real early, right? This was 940, came right in. We said, what about if the market tanks? And that's exactly what happened with the Nasdaq there early this morning. You got to have some kind of ideas, right? And there it comes all the way down. And of course, when we went to the downside, we wanted to get long on Amazon. So that's what we did. We actually got 3 times there. And if you guys rewind it to exactly 940, you'll hear me say like, all right, I'm waiting to get more. We weren't able to. I punched long, then it still wasn't going down, then I punched again, and we actually wound up getting 3 fills right there on Amazon, and then it just took off, and we were getting them out at what I thought was a good level around here, around 225 is where we got out of a lot of the shares. It dipped back in. We had not rebought this, but we should have bought it off the 200 period every time. But there goes Amazon. I talked about this is one of the largest positions for myself. Now we've been talking about getting longer in this name, and yeah, I've liked Amazon for a while. I actually dubbed this thing, if you guys remember back down here when it was at 160 or 170, it was actually back into here. This was back it was near the end of the summer, and I was calling it, this is the Katina family vacation trade. And we were buying it there, and then it went all the way up, and I really didn't get anything out. Then it came all the way back down, and I was just like buying more, and now it's a Katina vacation trade again. So yeah, let's wait to see what winds up. Now we're going to Boston, so there you go. But yeah, anyways, continues to work. We've been liking Amazon for a long time. It's everything. It's, we've got more deliveries today coming. We've got everything going on for Amazon. I like the space. If retail is going to work, it's going to work on the back of Amazon and Costco and Walmart. So why not take Amazon when it has so much more than just retail? So yeah.
Oh, to that point.
I like the stock.
To that point, because it's blowing it up right now. As a matter of fact, it's probably one of the 2 or 3 things that's actually holding the market up. Like, I know it's not a big move to the upside, but the Nasdaq is trying to go green, and it's one of the things holding it up. But remember when we were getting the Prime Day numbers, and we were getting these shocks to the downside when the early returns on Prime Day were coming out, and then it was just getting bought back up, and there'd be another shock, and it was getting bought back up, and then you looked over what was happening to Walmart in pretty much at the same moments when they were getting Prime numbers were coming in, and it's like, oh, that's bad for the consumer. Let's go down. Let's go down. Let's go down, and it's not holding on. Well, why could that be? Like, which one is more reliant on just retail? That's right. And that's what Amazon's all about. Like I still like Walmart, nothing against it, but at the end of the day, that's one of the big differences. And you always want to remember when you get stories like that, when you get a catalyst like that, which has that much selling action on it, and that is initially treated so negatively, and the response to those dips is to be immediately bought back up and bought back up again, then it's telling you something. It's telling you there's buyers in the stock and there's lots of room to go. I think Amazon's headed to do what Microsoft, Meta, and NVIDIA were able to do, which is, of course, get back to the highs. And it's in the midst of the breakout now. We're going to get this close above 225, and that just means next leg up for next week. Amazon looks like a long to me. And I'm going to shout out to, we got a super chat here, and we're going to go back to, oh, shoot, this one's on the list. Inkit's on, INKT. Actually, I have no idea what the company's called. It just looks like Inkit.
Inked.
Say that. Inked? Inked?
I have no idea.
I don't know, but a great call, Dara, great call on Inked. Thank you, you're welcome. I like Inked better, so we'll just go with that. And let's go talk about advanced money doubler.
Yeah.
So Goldman taking the opportunity to, I don't know how many years AMD's been active as a company, but they're finally initiating coverage on AMD. This is yesterday's news, guys, announcing a $140 price target. They like where AI is going. They see a good cyclical pump here for AMD. So Goldman initiating coverage, AMD having another good day.
What's up? We just had, I know on the midday show, shout out to, right here he is right here. And he told me, he's like, I'm from Barbados. So what's up, Barbados? Yes. Right there, Anderson, thank you for coming through. Thanks, Neil, Brennan, and Sean and Trader TV Time team for having me on today. It was nice meeting you. It was great to be part of the Trader TV family. I appreciate everything you have done in leveling up my trading. You are welcome. There, spent a couple minutes with Anderson, as we all did, and it was really nice to have him come through. He's from Mississauga, and he's, well, from Barbados, but lives in Mississauga and is looking to open up either a trading floor or just trade for himself for a little bit and see how that turns out. Here we go, man. Thanks to Ramin for putting this up. Neil and I here. I just retweeted it. This was the tacos. We want to thank everybody again for all the super chats as we talk about Taco Day right here. It's Friday, baby. And there it was. So everyone got a handful of tacos, and Obi came in and grabbed some. Anderson had one. The whole team. So again, thank you again for all of those super chats, and you know we're putting it to good work. That is for sure. But yeah, okay. So any thoughts on AMD? I didn't really look at it today, but
you know what? This was a miss, because I think yesterday to the long side was willing to trade, like early traded AMD, and then when NVIDIA was stronger, I think like flip from one to the other. Trade NVIDIA early, and then when AMD showed strength, they flipped to that stock. And then today, what's interesting is when NVIDIA pulled into VWAP. Well, you know, we were talking with Anderson. I'll admit, it was busy, the taco thing. I wasn't really at my desk for most of the midday. Like, I usually spend enough time there, but not today. And so AMD ended up being a miss. But I think the theme that we've all talked about is just a rising tide lifting all ships. And AMD was almost, bad and weak. Weak is a better word. Weak for so long. Like, look at how long the downtrend was. And if the chip space is going to rally and AI demand is going to be pushing through, then there's a lot more that this can do. The first step would be taking out this local high that we got at the end of June, but like 148 and change. This will be another big test next week. Like, I don't want to jinx anything, because we just keep saying, oh my goodness, this is like we said, like, oh, we're going to get that breakout at 150 on Palantir next week, and we're going to get this one through like 148 quarter on AMD, and then all of a sudden they don't happen. That's the thing with a breakout trade. If it doesn't break out, you don't have to have it, and you just eventually it will, and you take it when it does get there. But a rising tide definitely lifting all ships. I just want to go quickly over, because I had SoFi in here. I just want to show you. We had SoFi on, there wasn't really a catalyst on SoFi this morning. It was just strong. Right? SoFi was just strong. And I didn't really notice it until it was holding the trend line. So I bought off the trend a couple of times. The last one just came out. I don't know if I'll get back in unless it's maybe at or just underneath the volume weighted average price. It's another one of those another one of these fintech names that's just been so incredibly strong. And I really think going into these earnings in a couple of weeks, it's probably due for some kind of a pullback, which I might wait until we're a little closer to the earnings to start thinking about short on this. But yeah, great runner. But I'm waiting until it gets at least to VWAP to try it again. And now we can talk about INKT.
Yeah, Mink Therapeutics, guys, announces publication of Oncogen titled Salvage Therapy with Allergenic Invariant Natural Killer Cells in a Heavily Pretreated Germ Cell Tumor. That's the headline. And there is a price action.
I understand. I mean, like, here's the thing. I mean, you have to be able to easily understand these types of headlines 100%. And, and it doesn't really take a heck of a lot of training to understand absolutely none of that, as far as I'm concerned. But when a stock is up 760%, and done 40 million shares, I think you're just working.
There's some
off.
news about PayPal.
Yeah, I just heard that as well. Let's just go there in a quick little. Do you have it up?
I have PayPal.
Okay, let's go to PayPal. Let's go there. We'll come back.
I don't know what the exact story was right there, but we're going to get it. Oh, and Block.
And Block.
So.
Oh yeah, it looks like Block's being hit maybe. Yeah, Block's getting hit maybe a little bit more.
Yeah, something here. No.
No, it's about the same.
Yeah, I would say it's. I think this is a PayPal related story. It's what I did here first. So we'll wait to see. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, PayPal down to almost. Actually, two.
Oh, it is.
Oh,
yeah,
JP Morgan. Some kind of comments here. Maybe downgrading this space would be my guess. Here we go. Here we go. I got it. Okay, fintechs need to pay for customer data now. Apparently, that's what he's.
Oh, that was
that's what he's saying. So I don't even know
then.
what that means. Like paying for customer data. Okay, let you just sign up and say yes. Here's my life. But we'll have to wait to see what happens with PayPal right now. Pulling back into the 50-period moving average on the daily chart. PayPal's been okay from the bottom, but we just bounced off of the 200-period moving average there on PayPal to the high side. So yeah, I wouldn't. Again, prime for a breakout, fails, comes back in. It's PayPal right there. But if you are looking at VinFast, it's making big moves. After locking in 40% of Vietnam's EV market, they're now entering India. They've teamed up with MyTVS and others to expand service and charging access. What's their edge? A full EV ecosystem, cars, charging, and ride-hailing. The ticker? Simple, VFS. One to watch in the global EV race. Thank you to VinFast for sponsoring this part of the show. But yeah, we'll wait to see what winds up happening with PayPal. All of a sudden straight to the downside there. And yeah, just to the point about that INKT, it's like this is not really going to be a trade that anyone's going to be a part of unless you have insider information early on, which would be good. Yeah, but not for us, of course. But right there, nice move upside. I would always think about when these plays are going VWAP. So it's kind of good that it breaks through the VWAP there, and now you buy it again, doesn't break, and any kind of a dip into VWAP, I think it is a buy, and that's just what you want to do. It's up 740%. I zoom this back out. There's nothing to look at. It's already gone. So this is a big breakthrough for these guys. I would say it's probably a short from up here, but that's not. They could get bought out on Monday. Like all of a sudden, you have a Pfizer or somebody that's looking, AbbVie or somebody that's looking to acquire, some new discoveries, new science, and they buy these guys out. So I don't know. Let it settle down. So for right now, I wouldn't be short. I would be long, and I'd be waiting for a dip, right? And so either you use the 200-period moving average there that's already held, and we're coming into that, or you wait for a little bit of a bigger move VWAP. The spread right now is 50 cents, so it makes it kind of hard to deal with. A stock that doesn't have much of a spread usually and does a lot of volume and has a lot of levels and is something that's traded by a lot of us is Tesla. Let's go find out the story.
Into day highs it goes, Sean. A couple of headlines today. Let's start with the one on the bottom of the screen there. Goldman Sachs maintaining neutral on Tesla and lowering the price target down from 315 to 285. Separately, Elon Musk taking 2x today to announce that he is planning on expanding the robo-taxi to Phoenix, Arizona, waiting for approval from the state regulator, guys.
Yeah,
let me just
We're just talking about why it's so hard to trade.
Yeah, because here's the thing: during the meme days, when you had reasons to be looking at certain stocks, so like traders, like we would be on like Funware or GameStop or whatever it might be, and if it had this setup and it did this, like a gap up and a consolidation, and then right off the open halted up, we'd all be trying to grab the first halt because we had like reasons to have been looking at it for the last little bit. So, but unless you had a really good reason to be watching for this to make that kind of move, like it was on your top list, which of course it wasn't for us, that's really that's the trade. Because when you get that first halt trade, it's your best risk to reward, and that was the game in the meme days. Like how many times we would just take the opening halt up and then just see how long you could hold it. But just going to Tesla, which just broke the high of the day.
I was just gonna say.
All right, so look, it just broke the high of the day. The prior 2-day high is like 311.50 into 311. Please retest that because Tesla's on the churn. Ever since, look, we had I don't know what we call these things anymore, but there was the next spat. Like it was the America Party, and then some of the posts on X. Since then, Tesla has been higher low. I understand we did have on Wednesday, kind of a weekday on Wednesday, but that ended up just being a nice consolidation and a further breakout. So we've been grinding higher to fill in the gap that got put in. So I think we're at the gap point right now at 313. So yeah, this might, it could pull back as we get to the gap point at the 313 level. Tesla was an early long. I said middle of the day, wasn't at the desk for most of it because I'll look back at this and say, wow, that was really good coming off of VWAP. Let's see if we can't figure out where the long is going to be in here without having to chase it at the absolute high. When it did make this kind of a parabolic move earlier back into the 312 the first time, it was a hefty pullback. I'd just like to see kind of a measured pullback. 311.50 makes a lot of sense. Yeah, we do like Tesla. Yeah, I think we're at the point now where there was nothing. Remember we said if we got nothing else that it's a distraction on Tesla past the first couple of days in the week, that everything would be fine, and there really hasn't been much. They just got some solid numbers and some solid news with the robotaxi expanding. So we'll take that. I'd love to see us get back above the 50 and the 200 period. Then I think you get a little bit more explosive to the upside on Tesla to retest that 360. So looking all good right now.
Yeah, for me here, I just have a 20-minute chart up right now for Tesla. Maybe this 313 is not that bad. That was this goes back here to July 3rd, where we broke. This is e-signal charting, where we broke through right there. This is still a 200-period moving average, right into there, and then we dropped down. We never got a chance to really trade through some of these levels that we're at right now. So yeah, maybe this is something right there, especially if this market wants to go to Greensville. Maybe it already is, I don't know. But right there, 313 could be something for Tesla. So yeah, I'm debating, is the market, almost green there, the Nasdaq. Is the ES green at least? Let's see. Oh, ES is worse. Okay, so yeah, we talked about that. Amazon, maybe Google. Now Tesla helping out the Nasdaq here as well. Tesla up 0.8 right now, so we'll have to wait to see on that. Was Google's not up? I thought it was.
Oh yeah, Google.
Yeah, Google's a monster. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Okay, so good on us there for finding that Google. But yeah, for right now, yeah, I like Tesla for sure. Oscar Health is another name that we nailed right off the jump, man. This was a big one for me today. We put this on our sticky note down here at $15. Let me just put a bid here at 40. So we just punch out and get some 39s. So there it goes, man. Oscar Health near the low of the day. And often we don't put on, well, I put on whatever I see. And Hal asked me in the chat there, you know, when I'm looking through the sticky, when I'm making the sticky note, what's up to tacos again? When we're making this sticky note, what exactly are we kind of looking at there? And, you know, Oscar was on there today because we did have that WFC Wells Fargo downgrade there today. I never saw that movie or show, Fargo, by the way. And then, you know, we had wrote down here, where was it? Oscar right there. You know, just, it was breaking through $15. Sorry, I should have said $5 there, $15 to fade that rally if we do get one. So we never got a rally. It just came in. There's the $15 break, and here we go to the downside right now for Oscar Health, and still going. So we'll see if the market can beat up this name even more. Still short there on Oscar Health, and we're still long on Amazon. But we're going to go over some more names here as we go. But for right now, we've got Adara over at the desk.
Just keep an eye here on CVNA. Apparently, the top shareholder of the company is reported by Bloomberg, filing here to sell $245 million in stock. Separately here, just keep an eye on the market and these big tech names. I'm seeing here, apparently Europe is, or the European Commission here is planning to drop or is dropping plans to levy a tax on digital companies. So this potential digital tax here in Europe apparently dropped, as I'm seeing on this report from Politico. We know that Europe is likely trying to get a trade deal here, so if it can kind of do anything to help itself in the eyes of the administration, definitely good look. And we know that these European taxes or fines on American companies have been an issue for the administration. Back to you.
Yeah, well, I can tell you that waiting around for SoFi and the like to get to earnings to take profit, which yesterday seemed like the right thing to do. Well, all of fintech on that JP Morgan headline telling fintechs they have to pay up for customer data, from this coming from Bloomberg. Affirm. I mean, we showed you Block, we showed you PayPal. I was in SoFi. That's why you have to stop everybody, because SoFi was just kind of cruising at that moment. And they're all headed to the downside. 2 points down now on Affirm. And this, it's interesting because it feels like the nice rally that Affirm has been on. Look, everything's been on a rally. I mean, This is the thing with these April lows. Like everything's been on a pretty nice rally, but a lot of it is continuing or consolidating. This is setting up for a breakdown. If we don't hold on to 66 here on a firm, I could see that kind of a headline. Whether or not it ends up being a gigantic deal, when the stock is over a double from the lows in just a few months, you got to figure there's going to be a lot of profit taking in this. And I only say them because I venture that they are like a Robinhood are probably up a heck of a lot more than a Block. Like instead of being a double up, Block is up like 50% from the lows, and PayPal probably very similar. But I think that puts under threat some of the names that have gone parabolic for some profit taking to come in. If this can't hold on to 66, I think a firm could be in at least some short-term trouble here, momentum-wise for sure. So we'll see how big the headline is, but for people to take profits on such a banger, if they were buying that dip, yeah, that's just logical to me. I see Roger in the chat just said SoFi is recovering a little bit. I think the names like SoFi and Robinhood, maybe they can have a little bit more juice because there's more people that I think love them for the long term than a firm, but that could just be my bias speaking. SoFi trying to bounce off of prior day lows, at least so far. Yeah, it looks like it's not a very good one for fintech. As the market was trying to go green, maybe it's that little sliver that's going to prevent us from getting there.
We've got some super chats here, and it is, the hack ETF, which of course is some of these cybersecurity names. A lot of these have been getting hit. I don't know how bad this ETF is. I haven't really looked there yet, but you're almost down, I guess. Today you're down another 2%, but $88 all down to 83. So we'll have to look at this hack ETF here. And I think part of the reason why, look at stocks like Zscaler and things like that. I don't know. Let me know if you've read anything about this, Neil, or anything. But continues to get hit down here over the last couple of days. I think it's just profit taking in the space as traders noticed that some of these highs we weren't really breaking up there. Now you're getting a pullback. So Zscaler has been super hot. Zscaler since that bottom was 176, so it doubled up, all the way to 320, almost a double there. And now he's starting to come to the downside. Stocks also like Palo Alto. I think there's opportunity to buy some of these, especially today, down another 2.5% there for Palo Alto. some names are just coming back into levels that we're pretty comfortable with. That's the split, so we're not worried about that. Right into there for Panda. And then we also have, CRWD. This is the one that I'm most in, and that's just kind of by accident because I was buying some on that July dip that was 2 years ago. Rates. It shows right into here, and we just never got out, and it just matured into a bigger position than I had in Palo Alto. But at the that might not be true. It's probably pretty close. But at the end of the day, I feel like it's just pulling back. And I was trying to find out some reasons why this. Just AI has been a really big driver here so far this year, and just cooling off is all that I'm really seeing here. Not really affected by tariffs, analyst downgrades. People nervous, I guess, about more outages, possibly. Like, what if CrowdStrike or Palo Alto or somebody else had a hack or an outage? How would that affect the businesses and everything like that? So let us know in the chat, or I don't know what your opinion is there, Neil, but there is something going on there with some of these names, and I don't. I've been looking, like I asked AI.
Zscaler with no PE and an 85 forward.
Yeah.
And CrowdStrike, let me just...
it's true, like the 2025 so far this year.
147 4P? No, that can't be.
That's probably right. Their PEs are ridiculous.
Yeah. I thought CrowdStrike was closer to 100, but
it's not even that much of a sell-off. Most of these stocks are up 40, 50% year to date. So the fact that you're getting a little bit of a haircut here, 5% down, makes a little bit of sense. But this is from Grok. It's just like tariffs aren't a concern. There's no conclusive evidence of why these are going down. Rising cyber threats, but short-term volatility drives market rotation. So they're just saying that potentially there are some names that are just rotating out of cybersecurity. But yeah, good opportunities, and thanks for that note there, Chill Vibes. Oscar is paying nice right now. Yeah, the first time I've ever traded this on the show, or just period, I don't even own any shares. So first time I looked at Oscar, and there it is, man. There's that 15 break that happens in the pre-market. Like, we took it in the pre-market, and we took it with a good amount of shares. Not as many shares as Big Bear AI when that broke through 8, but there it goes, Oscar paying out as well. And that's another thing, sector rotation, right? UNH broke through 3 bills, I think. It was dancing around.
Yeah, at some
okay,
point
so
it
it's
did.
still at 300.
Oh,
so
it broke.
yeah, it broke. Yeah. I don't want to let people scare people there, but UNH having some kind of ways as well, and thinking about this $300 break level there as well. And then plus, Justin Bieber released another album. I tried to listen to it. It's all R&B, so it's not really my thing there. But shout out to Justin Bieber, new album, Swag, right there, release. So get that swag in there. All right, what's up, Adara?
Yeah, I just want to let you guys know we actually do have Donald Trump apparently participating right now at Kerrville, Texas. He's going to be holding a roundtable with Texas flood first responders. Unlikely, of course, that this meeting will be market related, but we know questions can always be asked, things can always be mentioned. I do apologize. This was not on our Trump schedule today. In fact, we didn't have one because this was, I guess, incorrectly initially said to be on Sunday in the schedule I looked at. It is today, so just so you guys know, this stream is live right now. Trump has not yet arrived. I'll let you know when he begins and starts speaking. Back to you.
Yeah, it's the kind of thing you want to be aware of because, especially on a Friday with like 90 minutes to go here, like what catalyst might actually give us an extreme move instead of like the regular afternoon, you don't want to overtrade type of vibe. And certainly a headline could do it. I'm still holding out some hope that I don't think we'll get the kind of rally in any of the crypto, Bitcoin in general, because that's what I'm looking at right now. I don't think we'll get any of what we saw in the afternoon or obviously overnight. But that being said, like we've been asleep for so long here that I've got my eyeballs on this. It happens to be like 67, but there's some support down here at like 66.7, and it'll be 117.5, and obviously we're having trouble getting through 118. I think if we can chew through that 67 level on IBIT, there's definitely something there. And you know what, Britt Burden, AMC is ready. Hey, let's call it what it is.
Yeah.
AMC got an upgrade today. It's not up 11% for no reason. There was a positive analyst notes that were not about meme. It was not about the meme status of AMC, everybody. Basically looking at the film release schedule, looking positive and stable and having some good titles coming out. And obviously the stock has not done very well lately. But when you think about it, sometimes you just need it to have stopped selling and bottomed out and then get a little bit of positivity, because when you've been bled so far, there's shorts that have been winning for so long that they just need to cover at some point. I think this could be something that we're seeing here. Of course, you'd like it to go more than just one day. I'll note the last time it had any kind of a move like this, it started around the same spot, got to $4, and didn't take that long to get back to the bottom. So this is worth keeping an eye on for a continuation. I don't like the fact that for this afternoon, doesn't look like there's any volume, but I think you got one that has a potential next week because it was an actual positive analyst note. Usually when we talk about AMC, it's because it's meme stock related, or it's on Monday because there was like some nice box office over the weekend. I can't remember the last time we were looking at AMC up double digits because an analyst was speaking positively about the business. I mean, I'm sure it's happened. I just don't remember it happening in any kind of a recent time frame. That's all.
I think that's probably a fair comment there about AMC. I mean, we talked with Michael Noss. I mean, he's not going to be on TW, Steve Talman and myself and Adara on the after show. But Adara, do you mind just like maybe reviewing the PayPal story one more time? There's some people in the chat want to know about that. But let's just go over who's making money here at Real Trading. You know, we did have Anderson come through here today, and you know, he wanted to just let everybody know that, you know, he's starting the journey there. I think he's going to start in the campus program. I kind of advised him to do that just because, again, our campus program gives you a great sort of pathway to success and start about the training. And I think that that's pretty important. You don't just make $12,000 by, well, some people do. You didn't buy 12,000 shares of Amazon this morning or whatever. That's up $3. Actually, you only need to buy 4,000 shares of Amazon this morning to be up 12 grand. But yeah, right there. So yesterday, these are the traders that we have here. And what I'm noticing yesterday is a lot of Canada right there. So I don't know what was popping off there yesterday, but you could see we had Amex, the number one trader in the company yesterday. These three markets, these are the markets traded, right? So here, for example, today I've traded Nasdaq, New York. So you know, that would be there. And if I added TSX, it'd be there as well. But that's what we're doing. So Canada yesterday, pretty popular all the way down. Venture exchanges as well. So that's like it's not like the pink sheets, but it's just a junior market. So, like junior miners and some of the companies that we've had on have been on the CSE or the TSX Venture, as you guys know. And just means that they haven't met the criteria to uplist yet. So that's fine. That's where they go. Amex, New York, Nasdaq. Okay, there's CBOE Canada. So again, just sort of junior markets. Then you have Amex, Nasdaq. So Amex, of course, is NYSE America, but you have stocks like that. BMNR is on the Amex and things like that. Nasdaq, so on and so forth. So these are just what's up with the traders today, but it's yesterday at Real Trading. So, all right, we tasked Adara there, and she's the best. So this is gonna happen for all of you right now. Let's go find out. Before I go to Adara, just quickly, that's PayPal. I just want to show you some of the fallouts of some of these stocks because there's PayPal, there's Block that's come in. So both these names down. And if you're looking for catalyst this afternoon, this may be where we look. So also Affirm. So some of these, very well known now fintech names getting hit. Let's go find out why.
Basically, I have the wrong ticker. I was like, why is this up? PYPL here. What happened was, according to Bloomberg, JP Morgan is telling these financial technology companies that they're going to start charging fees that could amount to hundreds of millions of dollars in order to access JP Morgan's customer bank information. So that could actually really hurt this industry's business models. Apparently, JP Morgan actually sent out pricing sheets to data aggregators, which is basically the third party here, the middleman between banks and fintechs. And these sheets apparently outline the new charges. This is citing people who are familiar with the matter. The fees will apparently vary depending on how many companies are using the information or how the information is being used. Higher fees are going to be related to payment-focused companies. So that's likely why PYPL and XYZ and the like are getting hit particularly hard in this. Apparently, if the company's related to payment, they're going to get charged a little bit more based on these fees. JP Morgan actually commented to the Bloomberg on this report. They said they've invested significant resources to create a secure system for customer data. That doesn't really answer the matter of this, but either way, PYPL, etc. to the downside. Visa and MasterCard also dropping. I couldn't find any news. And I also want to mention, we have maybe not great news here coming from Fed's Goolsbee. He's saying that new tariff threats could delay rate cuts. Well, that's certainly not what President Trump wants. Back to you.
Oh, boy. So, get ready for a round of more criticism of the Federal Reserve. Oh, there is a somewhat interesting story with the Federal Reserve because there was a letter concerning the renovation of the new Fed building. Was, let's just say it's the budget is ridiculously high.
Right.
And when Powell testified, like, this is what's being done and this is what's in it, apparently some of what he said was not in there is there and is being paid for. And so some of the speculation could be that because you can't fire him legally, but could this have been a way to find it for cause? You told the taxpayers, and you told us that this is what was going to be done, right. And then this
kind
was
of like
not
the
true.
Epstein files, basically.
Like whatever it might be, it's just to find a way around it. So I've read that this morning. I'm like, yeah, you know what? Either way, it's just I think it's another push to put more pressure on.
Yep.
That they're just using something to push another button. That being said, remember that the bond market really doesn't like all of this. And like usually I would have thought that we'd have a negative reaction. So it might be a nothing burger because the Nasdaq's kind of doing okay. But that was my first thought when I read it this morning, that, putting a little bit of extra pressure in a way that I'd never heard of this whole firing for cause thing because you lied to us story before. But hey, if there is a path, maybe we'll find out. Just back to the fintechs, sometimes the price action doesn't lie. Like the fact that SoFi didn't fall anywhere near the way that PayPal, Block, XYZ, and Affirm were heading to the downside. That just tells you everything. We are looking at volume, which is not really continuing that much. So I don't know if this is going to be, I don't know if we're going to get a big rollover if we continue dwindling on volume. I want to be short. I don't want to be long this name. As I was talking about, this one feels like on the daily chart, it's the weakest one. And when I see where it bounced to, it essentially bounced to where it was doing nothing in the pre-market right in here, which is adjacent to yesterday's low. So there's a decent technical level at 67.60, 67.5 to 67.60 to work off of on a firm. I just realized we don't always have free locates on a firm. But we do now.
Yeah.
Well, we do today, but we don't always. We definitely do right now. So I'm thinking short on these, at least back into the 67.60. I might look at something in the 30 range here on a firm. And just picking on that over like SoFi. Like SoFi rebounds all the way to VWAP on that. Why? Because they're not a payment company. Well, I mean, they're not primarily payment, which that's why XRZ, XYZ, Affirm, and PayPal are taking it in the chin. So I want to get short this one and see if we can't run to the downside. I mean, I want the market to go up, but this is a pretty negative story.
I was looking to maybe short the futures here because of where we're at right now with these futures, kind of like at the top. And, you know, you don't have, as far as risk and reward are concerned, it's not that, like we talked about 23,000. Could we get back up to there today? Well, that is where we're at. We were talking about that at like 8:30, and we did have that move higher. I've written down that I'd like a TQ short into this area. So maybe we could go short. Instead, we have a new trade alert right now. It's Intel. And the only reason I'm shorting this one, again, you're right back here into some of these pre-market highs. So if we break down through 2370, again, I just think this is a decent risk to reward. If the markets do fall down here, I mean, Intel's weaker than the rest. So not the rest of just weaker than the market. So we'll figure that out. NVDA, I just want to see what they were doing today. I know they're up. Up 1%. Yeah, I just want to see, because AMD was the one that was weak to begin with, and that's up again. So yeah, so Intel, you know, we're going short. We're going to like, basically, when they say when you're in real estate, you want to try to buy, what do they say, the ugliest house on the block or whatever it is there, or the nicest house on an ugly block. I don't know what it is, but you know, it's just like, we'll wait. It may go against us because Intel has catch up to do. So if the whole space is going, that's fine. But we came right back into here. You're also at the 200 period down here on the 5-minute chart, on the 15-minute chart, 5-minute, sorry, chart right down there. So I don't mind this, but it's also, we're going to go to Adair in 1 second. It's also a play here off the top for TQs. So we had shorted. We're up on this today, not up that much because we wound up breaking right there, but not a bad situation right there to get in and out of if we do fail. So you could try to short the market, but I'm going to pick on Intel for now. New position there, Intel. Amazon, we have a very, very small piece left. If this breaks 225, then we'll potentially, 225.50, we'll potentially get out of Amazon. But this is carrying the day for me, man. It's Amazon to start the day, the #1 trade idea on the note, and then Oscar as well. That's been big for me. So Oscar, Intel, TQs, and Amazon, all that we've been trading. And Dara's got something for us.
Just keep an eye here on this market. It looks like, I mean, right now they're kind of shuffling everyone around here in this Texas roundtable. Trump still isn't here, but potentially could be coming soon because they just did make everyone move to a different side of the room. I looked a little bit into the whole firing Powell debacle. So for one, firing for cause is really hard. You have to prove, of course, a cause, which is difficult in and of itself, but this is also not the first effort that the Trump administration has made to try to fire Powell. In case you guys missed it, we did have last week Bill Pulte, who leads the Federal Housing Finance Agency, of course, Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae. He actually wrote a letter asking Congress to investigate Powell. Peter Navarro, who, of course, senior counselor for trade, he wrote an op-ed saying Powell is one of the worst Fed chairs in history. Analysts say, though, that if Powell does end up getting fired, it's not going to be a good thing for the market or for rates. Back to you.
No, that's the bond market's been telling us that.
Yeah, we don't want Powell fired.
It's the independence of the Fed that's going to be important there that everyone's interested in. But I just want to shout out Beta Pro from Globax, sponsor of the Aftermarket Show as well. Because savvy Canadian traders, hey, we're in Canada. If you're looking to boost your exposure, you can now tap into the Nasdaq 100, the S&P 500 with the Beta Pro 3X Daily Leveraged ETFs featuring built-in FX hedging. This is going to aim to amplify short-term market moves and minimize the impact of currency swings. Whether you're feeling bullish, bearish, these ETFs are built for active traders ready to take on the market. Read the full risk disclosure in the prospectus at betapro.ca before investing. Scan the QR code that you see right there in front of you. Big shout out to Globax and that product, Beta Pro. I know everyone, you know, it's always exciting. People love those leverage ETFs, and here in Canada, we have access to them as well. So shout out to them. Just one quick thing. I need to Affirm in a second, but you're talking about the chips. I actually didn't realize this, that yeah, because like, NVIDIA lost its trend from the morning, is slightly downward trending. Micron up a point, holding the highs. much like you were just showing Intel, like, oh, that's, yeah, I was going to say, I'm like, what? No, I looked at my daily chart, and you know when you've seen a stock before, I'm like, Micron did not do this. So I looked over it, just a couple of bad dark pool wicks, because I knew it had held a higher low, so at least that's right. But Micron seems like it's going to be hard to tell because of that, seems like it's making a big rounded bottom in here, and it might be a potential breakout play. Like sometimes we sleep on this. At least once or twice a month, Micron is the chip name that you want to be on. And it's usually when it's breaking, when it's breaking a consolidation or something. And then then it goes for a couple of days and it's better than the others, that kind of a thing. And you've got a little bit of a lower high consolidation around the 126, that's all. So on that fintech story, my stop on a firm, I think I said, yeah, I told you guys, 67.60, like right in here, if we zoom it out. Again, obviously this is not good news. You're off the lows where you're shorting it, and you're right into some resistance areas. So if we do break out the low from, that'll be Tuesday, on a disaster day, obviously for this stock and many others, and I want to get some out in that 67, just underneath that 67 range. But yeah, it's one of the weakest names affected by that story, which is why I went over to it. Didn't want to be picking on something that didn't really fall as much. A firm looking pretty weak. Anish saying, and this is a good one, buy the dip in MP Materials. So here's my concern with MP Materials. I'm not sure the market knows how to price this DOD thing, because we go parabolic, or that is just a ridiculous amount of profit taking. Look at the way this is retracing every time it pops, and what happens at $50. So like you're seeing some nonsense, which is unbelievable selling at 50 on MP. I think this just needs to settle down for a few days and figure out just how much strength. Because when you get a move like that, it's like a wow move, and it was heavily shorted, 25% short float. There's probably a lot of short covering that happened, and you're not getting the follow-through buying. So maybe no one wants to buy it up here, and it just needs to pull back to a more reasonable price. So that's kind of where my head is at with this name. Ooh, Tesla came back to the 350.
Yeah, this sucks, guys, because we picked Intel, which was so stupid, but that's on me. I'm going to stop the fail, because the reason why I was like, we could short the futures, but, we'll just pick on Intel, ugliest house in a beautiful neighborhood. Yeah, Mr. Rogers' neighborhood right now, because we should have gone short the futures, and we would have at least had maybe 10 handles, 15 handles now, but that's okay. This trade, the Intel trade is just gonna be too boring. So I'll probably slip out of that. And I'm now offering up here in the 30s for the futures in case we come back in. I just hope that you're joking here, Gerald Fitz. Shout out to you, because we don't have a Discord or anything. So he says, Sean, I joined your Discord, but I need that $400 back. Any refund available? I hope that's a joke. If there's anything that Neil and I or the show is ever selling or wanting you guys to join, we would be telling that to you immediately. So do not join any sort of a Discord or anything like that looks like a Trader TV Live one, because especially if there's going to be some fees associated with it, nothing to do with us. So do not do that. Just like there's numerous fake Twitter accounts and Instagram accounts and all that. So just try to follow us, and it's because we share a lot of personal information and stuff, so people do know stuff. So don't ask them questions. Just find our official accounts, and it'll be all good. My brother-in-law always messes with all these guys all of the time, and I'm like, dude, he thinks it's for fun, but
there was the best one happened. I kind of lied to the guy, but it was kind of true.
Yeah.
You were up this was months ago. You were up doing a walk, and I got DM'd by a guy claiming to be you.
Oh, really?
So look, man.
It happens to our friends all the time too.
I'm one of those people. Like, it's not. I'm not going to take too much time out of my day, but I'm going to have at least a little bit of fun.
Right.
Because I was just like, oh, that's crazy. So I was like, he's like, it was something about crypto, and I'll give you some call, blah, blah, whatever. It's
always crypto early.
It's always crypto. And then so I sort of said to the guy, oh, that's interesting. Like, man, why didn't you just give me that call 2 minutes ago when I was talking to you about?
Right.
He's like,
right.
Yeah, because I'm sitting next to Sean. It's just whatever.
And then the guy's like, see you later.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden he disappears. It's the usual scam nonsense.
Shout out to Britt. So Britt goes, so Sean, that wasn't you who asked for feed pics? No, that was me actually. No. No, we're not doing that.
No judgment.
No, I do like my brother-in-law. What I'm saying is that he plays around with those guys. Like he'll be like, oh yeah, so you're coming up to golf this weekend. Like he knows it's not me. So that's the end. That's the idea there.
Yeah,
but anyways, yeah, just be safe out there, man. I mean, the trolls and all that kind of stuff. I mean, we see them with here now as well. But yeah, just I know there's. Maybe I shouldn't have mentioned it because now everyone's like $400 seems like a good deal. Now you're gonna give me some ideas, but no, just stay comfortable with what we have right now. If there's anything else coming, we will definitely let you guys know about that. We're working on a few things, but we'll we'll give that a little bit of a break for now. And then I wanted to bring that up because there are so many times that people ask us,
and we'd always tell you here,
all about that kind of stuff.
If you didn't hear it from our mouths live on the show, then why would you? No reason to trust.
Yeah, no, don't do that. And then, but we're going to be here. You can always ask us a question. That's why I want to do that. If you ever think there's anything suspicious, just hop into our chat live and ask us or tell us so we can report or ban it. Earlier this morning when we did this little recap here of what's been going on in the space, we had so much red everywhere, right? We had Berkshire down 1%. The credit cards still are starting to get hit even more here. As again, the stablecoin threat I think is somewhat real to some of these credit cards as, transferring money becomes cheaper if you're using crypto. And it's just, there's something about that, right? Ripple up 20% today. So we're going to watch out for XRP. But yeah, finance down today. That might be overall the worst sector. Healthcare is not looking too much better either with Eli Lilly, AbbVie leading the way. Gilead down as well. We had some news from that with Adara. So these guys getting hit here. And again, some interest rate sensitive spaces, right? You get the idea that they're not cutting at least until September at this point. So we're going to have to wait to see if that's going on. But Tesla turns green, which is nice. The energy sector, I mean, how good is this today as energy continues to get green? And we've talked about that energy bottom. I didn't call it, but we pointed it out, that oil down there at 64 and change, right? That was a really good level. So the CL right here, I was using the August, I think, contract. Yeah, so wow, now it's at $68. So we did have that bottom right there. As this was happening, I remember calling this up. And again, this is why I say it's fine, great. I'll take it. It's a win. We called that bottom, but I didn't trade off of it. I don't have any money involved in that, but that was a good dip buy. And the minute that we heard Trump say after Iran and everything like that, something about supporting oil prices and not letting them drop, that's sort of where we got some support basically. And that's what's been happening down there at $64, $65. So nice move back to $68. So that's going to be a good one as we're driving down to Boston, so I like the oil prices to get down a little bit, but that's another look there for oil. One of the better sectors for the day, energy. So we'll be talking all about these sector plays again on the recap show, but I just wanted to give that one a little look here. And then the retail trade, right? I mean, Amazon today up 159 as we end our last day of Prime. I don't think Prime was very successful. I mean, it was successful, fine. We got some reports earlier that they were having some negative numbers coming through on Amazon, so we'll see, but still up 1.59% here. And remember, some of the chips that they're working on, Amazon and Microsoft and Meta and all that, trying to keep a lot of that in-house. So I could see these stocks have a little bit more room to run. Someone said Sean always loves the Mag 7. Yeah, I do. I mean, they've made me a lot of money, and a lot of the catalysts that we look for in this market are obviously available to Mag 7 names, but I do like retail names as well. I want to pick up some Home Depot. We talked about Target breaking through 100. That really hasn't happened yet. It's at 104. Okay, so this was actually, I'm supposed to be in this trade actually. What the heck am I even doing? What the hell? I was supposed to be in a trade of Target breaking through $100. We talked about this for a while. Oh no. Okay, so we've missed a little bit of this trade. I don't think nothing's ever too late. I mean, going up to 104, you could be back down to 100 in a minute. But there's the break. Okay. What am I doing, man? This broke earlier this week. There's the 100 break right there that we liked. It got up as far as right now, 105. So maybe now we play this break of 108. But I think Target, again, a little sloppy down there on TGT. I think there is more room to run here on Target. Still good.
It's like when you drop it on something on the ground. Still good. Still good.
Yeah. How long was it on there? 5 seconds on the ground. But yeah, right there, Target. So my bad. Thanks, chat, for letting me know about that one, but that's a name that I've been looking at for a while. Target, obviously not looking close enough, but I like that name. Get all that garbage out of there, breaking through $100 to the upside right now, 105. So we missed out a couple percentage points, but we could still get in. We'll still get in. I don't want to keep my mind too much on all these trades as we take the next week off, but Target on my mind now. I know we'll be doing a lot of shopping at Target, by the way. It's a family favorite whenever we travel
when you go to the US,
down to the States. Them leaving Canada saved me thousands and thousands of dollars because the amount of money that my wife was spending there was probably irresponsible, but she loves it there. And there goes Intel, so hallelujah. We'll do a little bit of money on that. It's only 5 cents, but here it comes down in. Remember where our stop was, man. We were talking about 70s there. So, so far so good here on Intel. I don't feel so bad anymore, but look at the futures. We also talked about going short these bad boys as they continue to go to the downside. So I'll just do the Barry Horowitz, man. We'll tap ourselves on the back. Couple good calls there so far today. Here this afternoon, shorting the futures and shorting Intel. Bang, there it goes, Intel as well. So Neil short a firm. We've got a couple positions on, and yeah, good so far.
PayPal's going to be low of the day, I think.
Nice.
I think PayPal's actually falling more, so we might have backed the wrong horse. Well, I guess if you're shorting, you're not really backing a horse, are you? You're going the other way. But PayPal just broke the low of the day. Seemingly, it's taking it on the chin the most. I kind of felt Affirm will probably follow suit. But if we're already breaking the future of VWAP, if it's not the one, I'm going to see if we can't get out the low of the day here on PayPal. I want to jump over. Someone asked where the stop was on Tesla. You know where? Well, I did. I said where. Maybe you weren't. Again, maybe you just didn't hear. When I was looking for this the first time, which I didn't get it the first time off the 311.50. I'm taking a reversion back into that prior high. When it does this bottoming tail candle, and let's say I want to be in here, that's where my stop is going to be. So the fact that I take it 15 or it's not 15 minutes later, like 10 minutes later, I'm still looking at the same place for the stop order. I don't really change it in that. Unless something's changed, I don't really move the stop. It's the same principle. It's just the second time through. Now, obviously, I like it a little bit better if I catch the first move, but in this particular case, I think there's a little bit more juice in these fintech names and maybe the market pulling back in here a little bit. I'm looking up. I just want to see, look at, Block and PayPal are just a little bit weaker. Like both of them are weaker than Affirm at this moment, which I kind of thought Affirm would get to the low the fastest. And again, maybe that's just my bias. Like in my head, Affirm was too frothy. But very clearly, it's the other two names that are going a little bit further. So I'm going to take advantage of that. You can see I'm trying to get out right at the lows because the other ones are really, really accelerated to the downside. And this is just following like two heavier candles in the other two names. So I want to take advantage because I'm not in the weakest one, which I thought I was going to be. So going to ring the register there. If you went into PayPal, which was the first one that got shown, you do a little bit better, but you still get a 1% move to the downside. And I think this is in trouble. I think next week, it needs to break 66, but I think next week Affirm is in trouble. I'm going to be looking to be short this as long as it closes under 66 next week. And a lot based on that headline and how far this has come up. Adara?
Keep an eye here on this market pushing a little bit lower. More comments from Fed's Goolsby. He's saying that he prefers to wait until the market anxiety lessens because the Fed still wants to make sure that the U.S. economy is heading towards a stable, soft landing. Previously, as I mentioned, he did express some anxiety, not anxiety, but caution as well with these new tariffs being announced, said that that's even better for the Fed to have this wait and see approach. They might even have to delay rate cuts. Over to you. This Trump event still hasn't started.
Delay them cuts.
I'm just tweeting this out about Intel because we wanted to get that short in there, and we did. So there it is right there. And I was just highlighting that on the tweet that we were looking at these levels with good reason, I feel like, too, right? I mean, just coming back in here, look at what we're talking about, right into the pre-market level of 2360 on a run. We just got fifth. Like, this is our stop was 7 cents, so it's not like it's a monstrous trade here or anything like that. But we'll take a little bit out, man. We just got 10 cents on that. Now we're coming back in again. It's gonna go 2 to 1. Here comes Intel. I'm a little bit shell shocked here because we did talk obviously about shorting the futures right there. All talk, no juice because we don't have it, but we should have had it. And silly me, we don't. But there goes to the downside here. Hope you guys are enjoying your Friday and you guys have a lot of plans hopefully this weekend and you can figure that all out. But yeah, a lot of people were telling me when I was taking that position, they were like, nah, man, the short's not in. And yeah, them them shorts be in right now? As there it goes to the downside. We'll capture some more profit here on Intel, actually making a little bit more than we thought on this trade. I even sat here and said Intel will probably be, you know, like maybe a snooze fest here heading into the close and yada, yada, yada. But you can quite clearly see that that's not happening at all. It seems like maybe an opposite there as Intel continues to make moves down. Now, mind you, NVIDIA probably cracking lower as well. Yeah, everything trying to break. But, you know, Intel just seems like a little bit more of a off the cliff. So right there we did short sell the ugliest house on the block, and it is making us a little bit of money. Probably percentage-wise, maybe the best out of all of the moves down there in the crypto, in the chip space. We also did have some negative news right there, but we'll go diamond hands on this one as we get out of our last little bit there. Just 2.5% left of our trade, but there's Amazon, rode it from the morning, 222, just got a piece out, I'll get it all out right there to end the day because, hey man, if the market's doing, that's too bad, man, because that's a really good trade there, 50 handles, should have had it. I hope some of you guys do. But all right, Big Bags AI, yeah. Big Bear AI, again, like, some of these trades have to be hit it and quit it trades. I mean, we talk about that all the time. You're not just going to get in a straight line here, guys, with some of these trades. So just be careful with what you're doing on Big Bear AI. I mean, we got out of this at 850. I mean, not out of it all, but out of some shares there live on the show when that was happening. This is a long, we're still long at $4. It's at 650. Still a good return. I'll take it, but it is falling back in. And remember, there was no news. And even as this was going up, I was even putting there on Twitter and everything like that. Good job, Angel. Right there in the chat. Thank you. That's a great one, man. Awesome trade there. Thank you for the TQs. You got it. Good job there, Angel, man. Great trade on that. So congratulations. But, you know, you're welcome for me talking about it, but you're the one, I mean, you took the trade. I feel like there's not enough times where you guys take credit like for those trades. Those are your trades. So good job on shorting that TQs. Wish I would have pushed a button with you, Angel. But yeah, Big Bear AI, where's the support level someone just mentioned? Honestly, like when it's the same way when I went up here and found this $8 mark, it was just looking to where we had some consolidation. Remember, my first out was in and around here. We got some out at 7 on the way up. I believe it was actually 685. So similar to where we are now. And then it ripped up into this level. And even when we were down here, you guys were asking me for the bull case on Big Bear AI, and I gave it to you, and I said the max might be in and around here, $8. But that was sort of scoffed at because we were talking about it at 4. So when it doubled in a week and a half, that might have been your indication right there. But Big Bear AI coming back in a little bit. Again, no news, but that is what it is. True story. We talked about this at 3. We talked about it at 4. We talked about it at 5. And it went to 850. So congratulations, anybody that captured that on Big Bear AI. I'm not here for the next little while, but when I get back, you know, we'll see what levels these things are at. And you guys just continue to look at them. Neil and
I wrote one note for myself for Monday. BBAI SSR. Because that's exactly, if it goes down 10%, then on Monday, it is going to have the uptick rule in effect. And you show me a squeeze name that has the uptick rule in effect, and it's not that you're automatically going long, but if you find a long setup that fits your repertoire, they can be a little bit better. Before we go to Adara, look, PayPal just made another big leg down. Like, look at this. It just goes another $1 down, so that's over a full % to the downside here, and kind of one of the reasons why I jumped out of Affirm, as Affirm bounces off the low. So like for whatever reason, Affirm is hanging on better. I roll my eyes because I'm like, whatever. Like it just, that wasn't my take. I thought Affirm would be like infinitely more, but Affirm just goes down like, you know, a 1.25%, and PayPal's done that twice now in that time. So maybe with the wrong one, but at the same time, remember, no one else is bringing you that story live and showing you all the stocks that you can take advantage on. All of the fintechs are going to the downside, but you do, like, you're going to pick one. Like Robinhood, you could argue maybe not as big of a deal as this news to them as it is to Block or to PayPal. But remember the other aspect going on here, that's not just about that negative story. It is about the fact you've double topped 100. Look how far it's gone. Excuse for profit taking to come in. So yeah, we're out of Affirm at the low of the day. It refuses to break it. Let's go to Adara.
Yeah, I just want to let you guys know, I don't really have any news for this market moving. We did have, of course, some comments coming in from Fed's Goolsby, but the last note I'm seeing from him is actually kind of optimistic. He said that if the Fed gets a few more months of excellent inflation reports, that would persuade him that they're still on the golden path. I also want to mention, Trump's still not at this event. The stream is live, but it's just basically a screen. He did, though, like 5 to 10 minutes ago, or I guess 8 minutes ago, he posted on Truth Social a video of himself getting out of a helicopter, it looks like. So it looks like he may have just arrived. I will keep an eye on it, and I will let you know what's happening here with regards to this event and the market in general. Back to you.
Yeah, we're just asking, what is that golden path?
Yeah, like if you don't
talking about exactly,
you haven't been talking about it a bunch and outlining what metrics you need to continue on the golden path.
I think they're just trying to avoid a recession, and they're just trying to make sure that inflation stays where it is, between 2 and 3, hopefully a little bit lower than that.
Labor market's okay, man.
Labor market is okay, so maybe that is the path to gold.
Hopefully.
Crypto not doing anything. I mean, 117, it was been a big day for Bitcoin as we broke through all-time highs today, or last night, and then it continued into today. But, I had written down IBIT longs around $66 today, thinking that there was going to be maybe a pullback. There was a pullback, but it wasn't that major. So right now, Bitcoin 17.5, 17.6 still continues to hold some of those levels upside again. I did want to look at the DXY again real quick to get a look at this. Here's Dogecoin. We looked at Dogecoin earlier. Get out of here, ad. Right there, up 7% now and trying to come back just a little bit. The dollar strength has been something that we've talked about a little bit and not doing a whole heck of a lot. I mean, it's kind of matching the market right now, but you could see only up 0.29. But if we go over a daily chart, you're going to see that there's been a lot of weakness in the dollar, and that could have been attributed to many things, especially some of the back and forth, the push and pull that we just talked about with the Fed there. But, at the end of the day, Bitcoin, in gold have been hovering near the highs, and obviously we just got the breakout. So yeah, with a weaker dollar, that's part of the story as well, as the dollar strength losing and Bitcoin gaining as maybe more of a store of value now for Bitcoin. So we'll just wait to see. I mean, people sitting on US dollars have lost this, right? If you're just sitting there on US dollars as a trader. So you got to be careful with that kind of a move, and that's the DXY. Other names like Cardano today continue to shoot upside as we look at some of that. So there goes Cardano on a daily chart. But this is what happened, and this caught me by surprise. I mean, I'm a holder of Cardano, and I don't even know basically from very, very long time ago. But at the end of the day, it got this bump up right here out of nowhere. This is when Trump, I guess back in February, announced the crypto reserve, and Cardano for some reason was mentioned, and it got going there from 66 cents. It was up 100% basically, up to $1.20, and then it just fell all the way back down. So it was Ripple, it was XRP, ADA, ETH, and BTC, and Solana too as well, also mentioned there. But you are coming up to a pretty key level here with ADA, going back to just over a year ago, back in March, where we did struggle to break through 80 cents, and that's sort of been a top again. So now that you're breaking higher here on the daily, the 200 period moving average, it's still not very constructive. I mean, you still have pointing down 50 period. I don't like when one day happens like this. You'd like to see a little bit more continuation before you jump in and buy some of these things. But yeah, Bitcoin strength today for sure. And then, names like a Hut 8. This is a name that I was actually talking with my father yesterday, and he's like, man, we were into this name at $4 or $5, and now it's $30, Hut 8. I mean, huge move there. I'm not even talking about this move. I'm talking about Hut 8 down into here. Canadian company, again, yeah, right back into there. There it goes, big move up, back into there, man. $8 up to 30, big, huge movement still coming.
You know what I was just thinking?
Coinbase also.
Like, WonderFi, like the
the
acquisition of WonderFi, that it was like 37 cents.
Who ended up even buying them? I don't even remember.
That was it was Hood, right?
So was it Hood that bought them? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, okay.
No, but I'm just sort of like when you wrap your head around the timing of when this happened and what this probably would have been like how perfect was the timing for this? Like anyone that was hanging on to this as a bag hole probably gets it.
I don't know if WonderFi is actually making any money though.
Yeah, but I still think on just the pure momentum of what's going on, it probably would have tripled. On that, one of those. It does before. Like it had already done.
Oh yeah,
one triple up.
It would have been better than that price.
Yeah, and I just, oh my goodness. And I'm sort of saying that. Like I probably have some old shares of WonderFi that got punked myself. But let's go back to Adara. We got a new story.
I think I might have figured out why we had this drop in the market. And it's a weird one. So basically what happened here was about 14 minutes ago, exactly 14 minutes ago, we had Bill Pulte, who is the leader of the Federal Housing Authority, of course, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, he posted or he shared here a statement, I think from himself. It was actually from himself here on official Federal Housing Authority stationery, and I'll show you guys the note. He shared this note here for some reason, both like on the stationery and on X, saying that he's encouraged by reports that Fed Chair Powell is considering resigning. The thing, I haven't heard any actually reports that he is considering resigning, so I am unclear as to what Pulte's sources are. Basically, he posts this. The market made a bit of a move. I'm only seeing this circulate now, but yeah, it looks like Bill Pulte is hearing some reports that Jerome Powell is considering resigning. I need to look further into this because, again, I've heard no reports of that nature. But interestingly enough, here that coming out around when that market took that big drop to the downside. Wanted to let you guys know. Back to you.
Well, I mean, maybe Jerome just wants to get out early. He doesn't like the pressure. That's one of those, are we really dropping on that? Maybe that's why the Nasdaq came back the way that it did a little bit here. Like if you look at the 15, like there's our drop, we're kind of snapping back because if that's the reason we went down, it doesn't seem like a very, very strong one because it's so speculative and we're having such a wishy-washy day. Look, these fintech names are still bleeding to the downside. So JP Morgan saying that all these payment companies are going to have to pay up for. I believe the quote was pay up.
Pay up
for the client data. No specifics. Not a ton of specifics, but across the board, they are all down, whether it's PayPal, whether it's XYZ. They're not looking too good. There was a question, I know, I didn't want to interrupt what was happening, and someone asked, what do we do about Datadog now that it's added into the S&P 500? And look, some of the reality is about these additions into the index, you're going to rally into it. You're going to be, like, if you're getting added a lot of times because it's strong. So, like, whether it's, like, Palantir or Uber or when Tesla gets, they're already going to be strong going in a lot of times, and then you're going to get a big gap or something along those lines. And remember we were talking about it, if it can't hold this level when we made the gap up on the announcement and then it goes in, you're just likely to fill in and let it settle down a little bit because he gets front run and there's probably always somebody that knows there's enough money that probably knows it's near enough next in line that it's getting bought up, and then there's a lot of profit taking coming because they're just trading for that moment, and then it becomes a sell the news event. It still hasn't put in a good day. I also believe there was the day after they came in, there was a couple of analyst downgrades that were criticizing the business as well. Bloomberg report had it there. So you're still waiting for this stock after the sell the news to put in forget a flat day, a green day, a green day or a flat day or anything that shows you the buying has come back. And the gap is now filled. I think this would be a nice, reasonable spot to look for it next week. But once we lost that support, I'm like, yeah, I'm not even thinking about that for the long. So unfortunately, remember, oftentimes it's a sell the news type of event, and it was true. I mean, Uber is a good example of it being true in the short run, and then everything was fine in the long run. But you still have that sell the news event that'll happen on something like a Datadog there as well. And yeah, Kip, PayPal is getting chopped, but now you're just seeing it's forming a bit of a bottom here. I don't know if we're going to get a bit of a relief rally in some of these fintech names. Like the only trade we put on since we came on, I had the Tesla, which was. Of course, I take the hit, it's at the high of the day, and then Affirm was fine because obviously all the fintechs went to the downside there. But I was in a SoFi that we had just kind of added some more and had my stop. I didn't even realize it was that news. But I was just in it here and I had my stop. I'm like, oh yeah, SoFi just kind of came back down and broke. In hindsight being 2020, if in the same moment that it's hitting my stop and breaking the trend line, I'd known there was news on it, I could have quickly fired short, but I didn't know, like I said, if you really knew right away, you could have absolutely hammered it. The only other play you can make is let it bounce, find some kind of an entry, and play a continuation play. Sometimes you're going to get it really quickly on the news, and you'll be able to smoke that trade, no question. But at the end of the day, if you're a little bit slow, you don't always want to chase the bottom. In that situation, it can end up working out, but it bounces back 1.5%, and you'd now be in the money like 0.5% if you hit that low. So you probably don't want to be doing that, especially on news. Like the algos like to chop you up down there. So let it settle down a bit before you jump back into the play. Oh, wow. Tesla is
Nice
right through
recovery.
313. Good recovery there. And the Nasdaq with a good recovery.
Oh, no, that was that level.
Because I feel like, yeah, like if that's the reason why the market headed down, then yeah, I guess it would make sense they bought it back up. Like some weird speculation that Powell's going to resign, coming from a place that we wouldn't expect it.
So, yeah, that doesn't make too much
Doesn't make
sense
too much
at all. But it's so funny how it's like, I'm so mad that, and I wasn't that mad, but you know, that we didn't short the futures and instead we shorted Intel. As the futures make the move all the way back up, Intel is going lower. So we will say, wow, Sean, that was a great idea. But I just want to say to everybody out there, like this whole Jerome Powell nonsense, remember when everybody was saying that, you know, Trump should try to run for a third term? Remember when everybody was saying that, but it was only Donald that was saying it? And he came out and he was posting like, wow, some people have mentioned that I should probably run for a third term. We're going to look at how this is possible. You know, things like that. And I just think that that's probably what's happening with Jerome Powell. I've never, ever heard that this guy is thinking about resigning or anything like that. He actually has come out and said he's seeing his whole term full. And to the point where I thought that when it was even discussed that Jerome and company were potentially being pushed out, that he was looking to seek legal advice to see if that was even possible. So I don't necessarily think that anything we hear as far as Jerome Powell and company is going to be true, especially if that talk is coming from, you know, some of these people that Trump has appointed there. It's kind of just like, hey, yeah, you know, put that letter out and see what the response is, right? So I would be very, very careful about that. And if Jerome Powell somehow does resign or is fired, I don't think that's great for the stock market. You know, you want the right people at the right spots. You don't want the president. I mean, he's even said there the other day during that press conference that, you know, he had heard that maybe he would make a good Fed chair, Donald Trump himself. You know, so let's just take it for what it's worth. And obviously some of these tactics that are being used, even by Mr. Jamie Dimon himself, saying that, you know, you guys are going to have to pay up for this on PayPal and Affirm and all that, the customer data. I feel like that's just another bargaining tool and another tactic, right? So we always got to be careful. I mean, the stock market, obviously here, capitalism and all that kind of stuff. There's a lot of money involved, and the rich keep wanting to get richer, and sometimes they don't care about who they hurt in the same time. So just be careful about all of that, right? And so that's just my little talk there about what I think is happening in the market, and Jerome Powell is going nowhere. And in fact, it wouldn't surprise me if by that time the market, you know, by next May, the market's at all-time highs, everything's rocking and rolling, and somebody gets their term extended. So that's going to be my call.
I don't think he'll be extended.
There, no, I don't think he will either.
I think he makes it to there, but extended.
Oh, he's definitely making it. I just think that it's puff, puff, pass on Donald Trump, and this guy will change his mind just like he changes his underwear. What's up, Adara?
Hey, keep an eye here on FNF. Speaking of Bill Pulte, who is the person who said he heard these rumors of Powell resigning, he actually just posted a new post on X here literally less than a minute ago saying that he had some good conversations with industry today, including the CEO of Fidelity National Titles. So that's why FNF is running. He said that Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae will be collaborating with Fidelity and encouraged other industry participants to do the same. So FNF, nice pop there. Back to you.
Thanks, Adara, and always got to get that news when it comes in. Look, it's starting to give it a little bit back of that FNF, and I see this faux hammer. There is still a law in place that prevents charging for customers' bank data. I'm not entirely.
Yeah, I was going to take Tesla.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure, at least based on what JPM was talking about, that would apply, but again, like I'm not some kind of legal expert, so I won't pretend. I'll let the price, the way I would see it, if that was the immediate response, then you'd probably see the fintechs bounce a little bit better than they are right now, because the algos would read that and think of it as a nothing burger, and then would buy it up and take advantage of all the selling that's happening right now. So that's usually my take, is the money tends to be right, even though I'm not a legal expert, and I wouldn't even pretend to be. I do see we're literally at, and we've gone back and forth. I don't know.
What is it now? Ooh, 118.
No, but see, it's like it's frozen, man. Like we're just right there. We get right to 118, at least on Binance, on Bitcoin, and to the point that another person in the chat had said, "Why do we always keep talking about IBIT with reference to Bitcoin. Why don't we just talk about Bitcoin in general? That's because here at Real Trading, we're trading IBIT. And we're trading, well, I mean, I've never traded ETHA, but that's what we would trade if we traded ETH. I do believe, like, we still quote, like, if I pull up, pretty sure we still quote it. Like, I can still quote it directly. But I know when we beta tested this, it's just easier to trade the ETF. When you're an equity trader, it's just easier to trade something that looks and moves like an equity. You're just doing all of the same stuff. But like if I wanted to, I can show you guys this chart, but I'm never executing on it. I will always be, and all of us will all be executing on IBIT, right? So we're at 18,000 and trying to break through. This local high is 67.20. I call it 25. I'm taking the long through 67.25.
Yeah, we have, so just that siren just means new position. We're into Tesla right here at 300. So, or sorry, 300, 313. It was the level that we had talked about breaking there. We actually pulled down. We have this bad wick up here, and I can't edit it on the longer time frame, so that sucks. But right, it will take too long to do it. But right into there, 313. So that was sort of this area that we had focused on before. So we're in it. There it is, man. We just take a little piece out there on Tesla, 25. So we'll take a little piece out there on the X as we try to break through now on Tesla. We'll see if there's an upside play or not here for this. I'm getting out at 212 break, 212, sorry. 212.50 break. If it breaks through 212.50 right there, we're going to get out of that one. So we're going to be long on this, and we're going to see what winds up happening. Our first, actually, what am I talking about? We just got out at 40s right there. We got 313.40 there. I was not 25s. There it is right there. Okay, so we get 313.40s. So perfect. So that's close to 1-to-1 to what we're looking for. So we'll wait to see if we can get more. Obviously, we're waiting for much higher. That was just to take out 10%, like we always do when levels start to go. Because you know, the last couple of days we don't really see anything here on Tesla. So that's why I was dropping down this bigger chart. I mean, now Tesla's trying to get going. We're back up on the week. You know, this Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So nice move, man. We started the week down here in the 290s. You know, Chef Joe and all, and everybody that's been trading Tesla with us. We talked about 290. I'd written down 290, 292 on the sticky note numerous times. Here we go, right back up to the upside. You know, now we got to look back to last Thursday where we left you guys before July 4th. And yeah, where that closing price was right there is 313.25. So we're already kind of getting past there. Then you level it up and you say, where's the next sort of spot? It is going to be 314.50, 314 and change. So we'll wait to see if we can get back above there. Some nice upside momentum here into the close for Tesla, despite the market kind of not doing too much. Again, we'll see where it goes. Like, we could wind up losing on this trade. It's not very big piece at all. It's about 1/4 of a unit. Not even worth 1 unit for me here at the end of the day. Just trying to, again, top up a little bit. It's 330, so we still have to battle with those imbalances that are coming out pretty soon. So we're just going to wait on that. Oscar Health just continues to, honestly, man, diamond hand gang on this one. We're near the low of the day. I'm just going to put a piece out now. We're at this low of the day right now on OSCR. So let's put something out again. We'll sit on the bid and see if we can get this fill down. Oh, well, we just got the fill. I bid 31s and wound up punching into it. I never like to hit into a trade, especially when the market's coming down. Like, I would have rather bid 30 there, but as soon as I put the 31, it got hit. So we're out there at 31. Hey man, 70 cents on $15 as it was written. Shout out to Nas again, but that's the trade that we wanted. So good move to the downside. We do average in to Tesla because, again, we don't have a big position. So we're going to give it another 25 cents. If this breaks through 312.50, I'm going to be out of it. I just, you know, it comes right back into past support. The support's a little bit lower than that. I mean, we can change it to 39 or so, but I'm just going to stop out. This was a momentum play. You know, so it just no momentum right now. It tried to break through 313. It had come from so far. So we know proper trading on this would have been to get long either the 50 period or the 200. We always talk about those things. So yeah, to talk about how much we make or lose on an individual name, it's just like for this one, it does not piece out to a perfect trade. So it's just worth a little bit of a dance here. If we can top up, fine, but it looks like we'll give it back here. A couple more pennies and we'll break down and we'll lose that 40 cents here on Tesla. Again, spread not that spready, so we're fine. We should be okay getting out there on a break. And I don't feel like there's any problems there. So 212 Look at that. Wow, what a mistake. I put 212.48. So it's a good thing I looked at that because...
Done that.
All right, now I'm going to change it to 39s. So right there. So wow, good on me. Good on me, I guess, for talking my way about that trade because we almost did not get stopped out. I would have looked back and been like, what just happened? Why did my stop not trigger? Wrong price. Right there. So yeah, fix your price. All right, now we're right back there. Let's just see if Tesla flushes or not. Now, amazing 10-cent winner. We're not going to take that. Let's see. It's just back and forth here on Tesla. So yeah, I can see. I don't really like this price action. The fact that it's moving like this with nothing happening in the futures, not really my cup of tea. But we'll wait. We just put an offer up there, 313. 20s or so maybe we'll get that fill on the way back up, but yeah, there it goes. That's what we're doing. So 312 right now, 48. But my stop order was at 212, so I did screw that up. All right, so that's about it.
It's only bad if you walk away with, because at least
I could sit here and watch it.
That's what I'm saying. Like if you've ever been in the position as a trader where if you do that and then you get up to go to the bathroom or go to take a walk,
it ain't great.
Sometimes I'll get up, take 2 steps, come back and be like, wait a minute, double check your stop order,
and it's
100%. So I came back to the 18 level because someone was like, can you at least look at Bitcoin when you're trading IBIT? I'm like, okay, fine. I came back and wanted to buy in front of 18 to take a breakout. And as I'm watching paint dry on the Nasdaq starts to pull back. So I took a shot that we'd bounce off 18,000. And ultimately, you know, if I'm long at 12 and because the round number means nothing on IBIT, when it broke 18,000, it's like a random price. You're like 67.06 or something. So it ended up working like 6 cents loss. But I was just looking to bounce off of the 18,000 level. I have it up so I can see 18,000 going off and where the price action is at that particular point. But I also wanted to get to the super chat from Brother Howard. Just had to show you that first. Caps, study up. You'll be a 300% higher. Well, for your sake, I hope so. Look, caps don't... My first thought is usually that when you show me a dollar stock that's done absolutely no volume and that we're going to be making ridiculous amounts of money on it, and I look at the chart and it doesn't look all that impressive, is if we'd have a good short float or something. It's a 4% short float, but it is a low floater, 1.6 million. So that does mean if you ever get a catalyst, the float is so tiny it gets soaked up in a heartbeat, whether it's by a hedge fund or like a group of traders, and then essentially like any shorts can't cover because they soaked up the entire float or a big chunk of the float and there's no shares available, and then it acts like a short squeeze because of the lack of liquidity. So there's always the potential with these, but guess what? It needs a catalyst. Like why would it happen? We've seen, that's why we talk about low float names as good sometimes when they get momentum as a stock with a 20 or 30% short float. But I don't see any reason why this would be going. I think that's the other side of the coin. Like what's actually going to get us to go to the upside. But I mean, good luck is all I will say to that. Still really nothing going on in addition to the initial moves down over in some of those fintech names. PayPal, same low as before. Don't know if we'll get any reload action. I mean, Affirm's slightly lower than when it double bottomed when we got out. This might be setting up for some continuation down here because it bounced off the prior low and now it's consolidating off of the low. So it's 330 now. I'm going to maybe slide in because that's not a bad look here, 66.5 to jump back into the momentum on the fintech downside names as it's showing you the stair step down. If it can bounce off the even $66, which it has, let's hold this high, which is about 66.5, and look at this fintech name. I do believe someone just said BBAI, but we looked at BBAI. Maybe. Yeah,
everybody wants to talk about that one, but we want to talk about awesome right now because there goes Tesla. So right now we are that quarter in the money. We did take some out. We just talked about where we got some out, 313.13s right there to the upside. We did get some out at 313 at first right there because I was just like watching this thing bounce against that all the time. So I was like, you know what, man, it's 333. If this wants to go, fine, we'll take some out. We are still holding for more, but we did reload it down there and averaged in. Actually, it wasn't reloading. It was more dollar cost averaging to get a little bit of a better price. We came very, very close to getting stopped out. That's the day trader there right there. I mean, sometimes we get just ticked out. I'm going to take another piece out right here. I can see, I mean, we're up on the stock, so why don't I just take a piece out here, 95, okay. Oh, we didn't get filled there at 95. All right, come back up. What am I bidding? What am I offering? Oh, 92s. Okay, we got the 92s. All right, anyways, we got 92. I thought I hit it when it was at 95. But there it is. So, well, we would have got 95. Well, okay, we'll take 20 cents. Look, we're still hoping for more, right? So we'll hold on to that. We've still got half of our position. So let's wait to see there on Tesla. Hopefully it can mature into a closing price above that 314. That's kind of what we're waiting for. And we're going to figure it out very, very soon. So, yeah, some good looks there. That's Tesla. Oscar, Tesla, Intel. Intel's still working for us, but not really doing too much again. So that's what we're doing right now. Any plans for this weekend over there?
Well, I'm hoping, I'm actually really glad.
Rain?
We had a great practice last night, despite the fact that like one very small section of Brampton, where I'm in, got torrential downpours.
Yeah, we noticed
right
that.
before practice. So our practice diamond was like everything was. When I left my house, it was gorgeous. We got to the practice diamond.
Yeah,
infield was an
happened.
absolute mess. So a lot of what we want, we did some infield drills because that's what we've been trying to hammer on. It is just like field to ground ball. And one of the things that was working really well at the 6-7 age group, some kids can make the throw from third and short, and other kids can make it from like the pitching mound.
Yep.
So you make sure that you get, like if you can make the throw from pitch, we want to practice, make the throw you can make accurately, and then build from there. Because trying to have
overextend.
Yeah, little kids trying to make the throw across the diamond, you can't do it.
So we have a game this weekend
no
or
point.
no?
We're playing on Tuesday, but what we're going to do, we did a lot of hitting drills. And one of the things that the kids loved, and Aaron was all over it, was soft toss.
Right.
We usually, like we do, like it's been tee or I'll do a pitching, but if you don't know soft toss, it's a really cool hitting drill. I love it, but I'm going to do.
I have one of those hitting
we're going to do
nets.
a bunch of that.
Yeah, we hit into the hitting
weekend.
nets. Wiffle balls.
Yeah, I have a ton of wiffle balls.
I throw like 100 of those at Geo.
I love the wiffle ball, but I love soft toss, and so she's all over it.
Yeah, good.
Just very quickly, there's nothing on the early imbalances, absolutely nothing. There's a couple of names that are small for about 1 million shares, like Gap. Sell 1.4 million. We'll let you know if anything shows up. I'm going to double check because I didn't check the note this morning. It's Friday. Sometimes there's index actions. I'm going to make sure if there's anything that we're expecting to be big that we can find out. But I'm not really seeing anything in particular. I think it's a good thing we got out of Bitcoin. It just lost 118 again.
We are like actually doing pretty well here with our strategies so far here. Tesla, nice move back into again 1330s. So nice little move there for Tesla as we get lighter and lighter on this one. Oscar continues to go down. So does Intel. So far here this afternoon, we've had 2 trades for you. Intel, this is what this looks like, and Tesla. This is what this looks like. So far, so good. We'll watch out for Intel. And Oscar, by the way, right now, just getting crushed right now to the downside. So we'll watch Oscar or Intel. Maybe Intel's a little more exciting. But for now, if you do scan that QR code that you can see on your screen, you will become a member of the eSignal family. And that's because it is your first month for free. So you scan that QR code, you get the platform, you see if you like it. Let's go. Tesla right now, almost $1 in the money. The eSignal app store has over 50 plus brokers that you can connect to. So no matter which platform you're using, they'll most likely have an answer for you right there. So make sure you do scan it, get over there. Again, wow, Tesla. All right, more money being made on Tesla than that QR code. But right there it goes, man. We're now $1 in the money on that one. Man, Sharif had mentioned to me, he's like, great, take a week off. It's been fantastic. You're on such a heater, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, that kind of makes me not want to take it off. But at the end of the day, man, refresh will be good. But there goes Tesla. We don't have a negative stock today, man, on the board for myself. We've got Amazon. I think we're both having quite a day. Intel as well. We just put that on board right there. Oscar Health. Do we need to talk about it? No, we do not. We've already done that. The TQs, I mean, they were great this morning, and we got stopped out right there, but still a good trade there early. And then obviously what we've been doing on Tesla right now included a reloaded position, or a DCA, I should say, because we only got it at 10%. So we added another piece, same piece there twice. We just got that fill as well. So there it is, man. Now we are officially that $1 in the money. What's up, Max? Right there. I gotta go get a little sip of water here, but there it goes, man. Nice move to the upside. No, it did not. Do not say that, Jam Loki. You guys know that.
XRP moved.
Yeah, you guys know that I just bought Ripple at $2.20 and talked about it live on the show. So this is what I'm talking about. I mean, the heater is now on the show, and it's also on, I guess, in our PAs as well, because there goes ADA as well. Cardano up to 75. Let's go. And then XRP, I'm guessing here, I don't know if it did go to $3. I'm just going to double check that. Yes. Wow. Okay. What a move there for Ripple today. 12%. Nice move up there for XRP. Of course, the coin XRP, the company Ripple. But there it goes. Nice move there into $3. Yeah, buddy. Almost back to all-time highs. So this is a banger there for anybody in the crypto space. So again, congratulations anybody that rode any of this stuff to the high side, man. XRP doing, again, amazing work there in the crypto space today for any bulls. So congratulations, man. We were talking about XRP Army and all that kind of stuff. So wow, everything sort of turning up right now, whether or not it's the trading, whether or not it's crypto and all of that. But we're just having a good time here. And sometimes when you have a good time, you know, good results come, and it's just the positive vibes continue to flow around here. What was that we just got out of right there? We got out of something, Oscar? No, okay. Oh, did Intel tick lower? Oh boy, that's what it was. Wow, what's up, Brendan? Hope you're doing well as he's chilling out there in our podcast room. What's up, Brendo? But there's a nice move down there as well. So look, man, we've talked about a lot of different things today, plus giving you these trades. So hit the like, hit the subscribe, man. And Mike Peter Ryder, that is a fact, Jack. These trades are bangers today. Niels, you were just in one, I think? Or
well, I'm not happy with Affirm.
Oh, Affirm.
Look, I can show you.
I'm going to go get a couple.
No, Affirm literally went double to the downside just now. Like I thought, you know, we talked about this one in here. If you're just tuning in now, obviously there was a story here to cause this in all the fintech names. JP Morgan saying that they're going to have to, fintech names are going to have to pay up for client data. So at the moment, it looked like we're making a double bottom. All of the other ones were breaking through, so we got out. Didn't find my way back into Affirm, but we're still bleeding over. I did say I would look up to see if we're expecting anything on an imbalance. There might be a small one on Mobileye. It's the S&P total market. Mobileye is a small upweight. It's entirely possible something happens there, but it's small enough. I think it's like $1.7 million, which is not huge, because Mobileye is only a $29 stock. So I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal on MBLY, but I'm going to have that one up just in case. It's actually breaking. One of the reasons why it's interesting to me is if I see something that's supposed to be a potential buy on the index or in an index at the end of the day in the imbalances, and it's at the low of the day, well, it gives you a good opportunity, because if it does come out as expected, a lot of times your risk is to the low and it's already been selling off. So I'm going to have this one up for sure. Anish there. I don't really know. I mean, we talked about BBI. Maybe we'll go back to it in a quick little second. How is Daniel asking, how is Google for a swing position? Let's have a look. Full disclosure, my most recent action on Google was to take off, in my personal account that is, but it's not in a swing account, it was in my personal long-term account, was to actually sell some Alphabet and buy Meta with it. So I mean, it worked out, but it didn't work out because I could have sold something else that wasn't as good as Google. So basically, this is what I've been looking at on the chart for Google. So if I'm swinging in Google, it has everything to do with this trend line, and I'm looking for a break of the trend line higher or a dip into the trend line. I mean, certainly it could just take out this top here at about 182 to play it into the top of the trend line, and I don't know what you'd use for support in that particular case, because you're not going to buy it here, stopping there to take that profit. Like, you could be front running the move, breaking the trend to buy it in here, maybe, but I'm looking for the dip buy in Alphabet into this trend line. This is just a daily chart. It's pretty easy to draw the trend line on the daily chart. I love the upward channel. I think Google maybe got underestimated a little bit. Everyone was let's just say way too concerned with, they're losing on search because ChatGPT is coming out with their own browser. And just like Amazon with the early Prime Day bad results, what was the reaction when we sold on that OpenAI browser news? Bought right back up, just like the Prime news. Bought right back up. It's telling you something. The big money's trying to get it back into a lot of these Mag 7 names because they're catching up. So I think it's a pretty good channel. I like working off trends, and this has got a very, very clean one here. on Google. So that's about 170. I don't know if we're getting back down there. You can use the 200 period moving average as an entry off that as well. As a day trade, breakout 182. Yeah, the breakout on a day trade to those highs, that's fine. But on a swing, I don't like the risk to reward. That's all. Just going back to, oh, did BBA finally go? I wrote SSR as if it did get SSR, but if it doesn't, then it's not as fun because it's so much juice if it does go. It's exactly where it was before the last time we talked about it. I don't even know if we get locates for free. It's pretty late in the day. It's about 3:40. As Sean already mentioned, when you double up and pull back, the last time it did this, well, where'd it go? Where was your prior? It was like a head and shoulder. It tried to bounce at $5. So why wouldn't it try to bounce down here at 450? That's what makes a lot of sense to me. I think you go wait for it to get in here, bounce off that 50 period or 450, take your shot there. It didn't work here. You had to wait for it to consolidate, but why not? That'll be the 50 period moving average. I look at that pattern and it's like, why would I touch it until it either shows the bottom or gets to that 450? So that's what I'd be paying attention to as well. UNH up there. I haven't looked at UNH at all today. I'm still looking for an entry into a firm, which is probably not going to be one because it's 5 minutes till the imbalances come out. And when you're that tight to the imbalances, I don't want to short the low of the day. So yeah, I'll slap a fail for not hanging on to a firm. Looks like it was much weaker than actually I even initially thought on that headline.
Okay, yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, these headlines are what they are for now. We're going to get a piece out of Tesla. We're very, very light on it now. We have less than that 10% left right now on Tesla. I mean, we got what we needed, man. We talked about, hopefully it can get to 314 by close. Well, that's what it did. So when it came up there, we got some 70s and we got some 80s, and that's it. So that's a wrap, Jack, right there on Tesla. So that's a good one there. We'll continue to watch that. Intel's doing better than we could have thought, so we take some more out there. We have about 15% or so left of Intel. As we get ready for those imbalances, so they're going to be coming out very, very soon. We'll see what's going on. It doesn't look like there's going to be too much action, despite it being a Friday. Sometimes you get some options availabilities there, so we'll wait to see what that comes up there as well. Yeah, man, just some news that's popping in here. I did hear NEGG. I was going to say NEG, and I don't know. I guess that's what it is. There's a move there. We'll find out there, but there's some nice action up right there.
Lion just halted.
Something just got halted. Oh, Lionsgate, that's what it was.
Lionsgate just halted.
Yeah, so Lionsgate Studio right now, maybe some interest from somewhere there, so we'll find out what's going on there. Halted upside.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Oh, somebody's weighing an acquisition.
Apollo, I believe they said.
Yeah, so right there. So again, I think there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, you can see some of the media. People are trying to, fall hand over fist over some media properties, right? And so Netflix, we've seen a move down in Netflix. Obviously, if Lionsgate, not that they're going to be the same as Netflix, but if they get a bid there as well, Lionsgate, maybe that does help out some of these places. So Warner Brothers, Discovery, things like that. We've seen Disney make moves to the high side as well. 124 was the most recent high. That probably could have been talked about a little bit more, but Disney up top, and we did this, man. We zoomed out and was telling everybody about this 124. I'm holding it over here, so it's going to be over here somewhere. That 124 that came and went again. So see where my cursor is? Oh, I was a little bit off, but there it is right there. So we went all the way back to last April to talk about this with you guys. And so a good little play there for anybody long Disney. Maybe you got out, as we had talked about there, for some of those profits. But yeah, man, there goes Tesla right back up to 314 again. So, just some of the talk today. Again, we weighed those tariff pauses, or that new release there, 35% into Canada. It started the day off pretty negatively, but we did rebound on that, and now we're getting some Fed speak throughout the day. Hasn't really helped that much. I think this was it Goolsbee right here that was just talking again, brought the market down. As soon as he left, the market went right back up. We didn't hear too much from Trump today or anything, so the market pretty choppy, but at the end of the day, right now we're at the same levels we were at back at 10 o'clock. So just a little bit of an up and down. VWAP holding. It looks like it'll be a positive look there for today. But yeah, so far so good, man. I mean, very, very positive. We'll end the week with not a red mark on all 5 days. So that's really good. Again, leaving on a heater. It's been great. CoreWeave has also got downgraded.
The bleed is real. I remember saying
still going lower, right?
I was skeptical it would go double digits, and it's going to go double digits. Well, it's close enough.
Yeah, this one might be. Did Big Bear, did you look at that? Did it go double digits?
No, it did. It just Big Bear just barely tagged it, so it's going to be
Big Bear
SSR on
barely
Monday. Which is not it's not a positive thing for the stock. It's just sometimes a good momentum. I know we're gonna just one quick thing. There's CoreWeave. Yeah, the bleed. This is now. I'm not gonna bother counting. There's like one or two positive days in the last couple of weeks. There's no end in sight that's obvious to me until you get to about $100. So we're gonna look shorts on this stock, and pretty much you don't get this much agreement usually on the desk here that something is a short, as you did with something like a CoreWeave. Let's go to Adair.
It's funny, Sean, you just said that Trump didn't speak much today. Well, he just started speaking at that Texas event about an hour and 40 minutes after this was supposed to begin. He did just start speaking. Like I said, this is about the situation in Texas with the flooding. So it's not necessarily likely to be market related, but it's always worth knowing when he's speaking in case any market related questions do come up. I will be listening to this. Back to you.
Thanks, Adair. 1 minute to go until the imbalances come out. The only thing that might be a little something, as I said, is potential you could have a small buy imbalance, relatively speaking, on Mobileye. I'm going to have that one up. If it does come out a couple million to the buy side, that'd be good. But Verizon, early look, was sell of 2.5 million and Gap 1.4 million. That's about it. And yeah, like the other thing too is there was there were big imbalances yesterday on Intel and all of the Mag 7. Like all of them. They were all buy side. NVIDIA was the biggest at about, I don't want to say 3 to 3.5 million shares on NVIDIA. And then there was a good pairing event that you could take the 355 trade on. So with 20 seconds to go, we'll leave it here. We'll check out the imbalances as they're about to come out in about 10 seconds.
That's right now $1.30, man, on that one, ringing registers all over the place. Wow, what a good move there this afternoon on TSLA. Oh boy, over under on that next week as Obi will be filling in for me. But there goes Tesla in 2 and 1, and now the imbalances are now out. Maybe it comes back in a little bit, which it looks like it does. But what a move there at the end of the day for TSLA up to 314. We got that fill, and that was great. Remember what we were sacrificing here, a quarter on this trade to make 125 cents. So not too bad right there. And then Intel, man, again, boom, downside right there for INTC. So we'll end the week just basically on fire right here, like so much. So we're really happy with that. Yeah, shout out to Roadrunner in the chat. I talked about this yesterday. I actually tweeted it out. I bought some Berkshire here at the 200 period moving average. So when that shows up, you'll see it, but it's right around here. Yeah, so I can't remember the exact price. It was a couple days ago we tweeted it out. It must have been a little bit underneath that because it wasn't at Monday. But we're long Berkshire right now. We've been long for a minute, but we bought more. So we bought more there on Berkshire back into the 200 period moving average ahead of bank earnings. Bank earnings starting next week. So again, you'll see that with Neil and Obi. There should be some good fun happening there with the boys next week. So yeah, just that's about it for me, man. You know, Intel just continues to going. We tweeted that out. Go make sure you do follow me. Again, I'm going to stop out of it all right now at 46, I guess, if we get it. There it is. So we get the 46s to end that trade. So right there, it's another one. And we'll just props it up to everybody because that's what we do around here. And yeah, so far so good on that trade. We'll just continue to sort of watch to see what winds up happening now as we get into the close with, you know, basically the imbalances now out. The only thing we have left is Oscar, and that's been great, and then Tesla as well. So we'll go 4 for 4 there today, all pretty big. Amazon, Intel, Oscar, TQs, and Tesla. Sorry, 5 for 5 there today. So a successful one. Neil and Obi will be taking the reins next week. I'll be with Adara on the close with Steve Tileman. So that should be a heck of a lot of fun. So make sure you do join us all then. And for now, that's about it for me. Tesla kind of reversing. I'm going to put an offer at 314 just to get out.
Great look on Tesla. David sends a gift towards you in the better half spa day. It's not spa day, but it'd be Beantown. You can do whatever you want to do down there. We got a couple of super chats. And then David, and then Brother Howard, gift for the vacay. We'll hit the like on that one for sure. If there was a big imbalance, I would have told you at 350. Yeah. But there was nothing out there. And then Mobileye came the wrong way, everybody. So like if something happens at 350, like we're not going to ignore it. But there was nothing except for a couple of Toronto banks looking pretty interesting as well. But look, obviously, yeah, it might be a nothing burger. I'll still eyeball this in case there's a flip. Like if Mobileye flips from a sell to a big buy, I'll still have it up because it's at the low of the day. And there's an opportunity there to be had. I think we finished the thought. We more or less finished the thought on CoreWeave. But I think if you're not Like every single morning, I'm going to come in and pay for shorts on CoreWeave and try to find a short. You know, and whether you have muted success on it, like today, we only got about, I'd say like 40% of the move on CoreWeave. You have to be, you don't have to do anything. But if you're looking to follow the trend on this, you're looking to the short side. I shouldn't speak like you have to be doing anything, but you should be looking to the short side, just the way that it is going right now. I keep seeing everyone talk about UNH, which we have not pulled up at the high of the day and still going. You know the problem with UNH? What are we doing? Like, what's going on here? Like, if this was going to do that rebound everyone was looking for, why hasn't it done it yet? This has been an absolute nothing burger. Like, anyone that bought that crazy last dip, you're not out of the money. Like, everybody that bought it is in the money. It's just not doing anything. I can't think of a stock that was so volatile and violent that is now less active in the market than UNH. It could just mean the next good move is going to be spectacular, but until it starts to show some life, I just don't know what we do with UNH right here. Keel in the chat saying maybe they're waiting on earnings. I don't know. That's a good. That could be a good reason. It needs a catalyst. I'll be all when it starts moving again. I'll be all over it. I took a swing on this, but it's not making any money. Look, like I said, if you bought the day after the dip, you're in the money on this stock. But I'm considering that a fail because if you bought anything on May 16th, you're doing a heck of a lot better. That's how I should be referencing this. A lot of people like that long trade, and yeah, while you probably made a little loss something on it or might be in the money, the market has been busting out, so it really hasn't been all that successful in my opinion. Let's go to Adair. Oh, too late.
Both of these are on watch as we do get apparently India Aircraft Accident Investigation Bureau is releasing the preliminary report on the Air India plane crash. I haven't seen any details of the report, but just worth noting, keep an eye on these stocks. Back to you.
All right, we've closed out our Oscar trade there as we just punch out at 30. I mean, the downside was pretty much over with there. So, yeah, good trade there, 15 down to 14.30, basically makes the day. But we do have other trades again, of course, and we'll wait for next week when we do have JP Morgan kicking off on Tuesday. You know, the big earnings starts next week. So we're back in it, man. We're back in the flow of things. We had Levi earlier. Okay, come on, Tesla. Just end it right now, man. We're you know what? Forget it. I'm just going to punch out. We'll punch out at 57. It doesn't really matter. We don't want to get too greedy. There it is. Oh, there it goes. Okay, yes, sir. So there it goes then. To end the day, we are now flat. Big day alert for sure today as the market doesn't do much, but we did hit it for you at the end of the day with Intel and then with Tesla. So good one there. Pretty happy with the performance in those names. And again, thank you so much for everything today. No problem, Silverado Blue. You're welcome. And again, thank you, Brother Howard and David in the chat for your kind words and your super chats. We will have a great time. I just told Marissa, man, I'm bringing home a bottle of something, so it'll be a nice little white something, maybe a Chablis or something like that. We'll be relaxing.
What do you guys think?
We're having Indian food, but we're going out for that, so we'll be.
Oh, you bring a bottle to the.
No, I was just gonna drink it before we go.
Oh, gotcha.
So, but maybe afterwards. Now, I actually forgot that we're going out, but we have a busy morning. We got to be up tomorrow around 6 or so to be up north to pick up our kids for 9 and 10. So that should be exciting. So we're up early tomorrow, so no rest for this one as well. Thank you, Roadrunner, again.
Enjoy
for
that Tesla.
Yep, we'll enjoy that tonight.
Were you gonna drive the?
No, we're not driving it up. Yeah, we're driving the big truck up there, so we'll have some fun with that. But yeah, only 3 minutes to go now. I'm not really closing out any positions. We're done. Just make sure that everything is ready to go. Thank you, Roadrunner, for that as well. So I'll just hit a thank you on that, and we'll make a note of that and say thank you very much. So thank you, Roadrunner, for that super. Here it is, right here. The super chat. I should show it to you guys on the show right now. But Adair and I will be joining you guys momentarily for the market recap show. So yeah, for everybody here, thanks again, and we'll see you in 7 trading days.
Exactly. And of course, we'll be right back and we'll do our best to fill in those shoes. And shout out to, don't forget your passport.
Yeah, for sure not.
That's one.
We'll not be forgetting. We can bring the kids with us too, so they always want to know.
I copped to this, it was 2 years ago, and we're doing our annual trip to spring training. And we're leaving on the weekend. It was supposed to leave like the Saturday morning or something. And I'm literally taking the subway to my train home when I realized, that's when I found out my passport had expired. And I'll tell you right now, people will complain about dealing with like immigration and going to the passport office and whatnot. Look, man, it wasn't the flight I was taking in the morning, but I was on the flight that afternoon having dinner with my wife and daughter that same night when I thought I was going to miss it by a couple of days. And they were absolutely fantastic as far as I'm concerned.
They can get it done.
They do a great job and can get it done in one day. So like a lot of people give grief for a lot of those services. I'm like, man, they couldn't be better. But yeah, always double check to make sure it's not. And look,
you can do it now 10 or 15 years, the passport.
Yeah, you just get the longest one, so you're not even having to worry about it. You can get the Nexus too, which allows you to go in. I don't do that, but go to the States, so much easier. For sure. 1 minute to go. There was nothing, like I said, I was only looking for Mobileye to be a bid. It did pair off the sell, but you can see like it's not there for a buy, and nothing is all that significant either, everybody. So there really wasn't much of anything outside of the banger on Tesla, and then anything you took in the fintech space probably worked out for a short. Should have mentioned this. If you happen to spot a fintech name that didn't bleed this afternoon, maybe worth a good look. It's something to scan for. Anytime we see this, like what held up really well? I mean, Robinhood didn't really break. I mean, it went red, but it didn't break fresh lows. So that could be a good sign. What did SoFi do? I was in SoFi that was strong. That kind of continued to the downside, but still held up 1%. We know what PayPal did. We know what Affirm did. I'm not going to go over those another time here because it was kind of obvious. But you want to see how things react to news. And as I say that, Bitcoin back above 118,000. I think it was a bit of a disappointment with Bitcoin in that it was mostly sideways. But sometimes you make such a big move, not that far that you have to go. Let's get the camera over to Dara. We got about 10 seconds left here. What an unbelievable week it's been. There's going to be a lot of volatility coming right through, especially in the crypto market. Let's ring it, Dara. Thank you so much. I really hope, K-Fry, that the Bitcoin wall is not 120. I want to see 125. I've stunk offered up around there and hopefully get some out there. I do see Aura Alpha mentioned that Circle made a move. I have not looked at that stock, so out of my own curiosity, I do want to see what Circle has done. We'll see. Whoops, my level 2 is frozen, so I'm not going to. It doesn't really matter. Look, everybody, I want to give a big special. We had obviously some fun in the midday because it was Taco Friday, everybody. So a big shout out to all the super chats that we got, everyone, all the love that we got over that. And we said we'd have some fun and we had tacos and it was good fun. And a big shout out to our entire team. But remember, you don't have anywhere to go. Why? Because we still have a bang over market recap show brought to you by GlobalX and their product Beta Pro. And it's going to be, we have Steel Timon, special guest coming through. Of course, we've got Adair. Sean is going to have a fantastic vacation. I know it, 7 days. We'll do our best. Of course, always going to do a great job filling in like he always does. Your market recap show is going to start. We're going to go over all the crypto names for sure. FinTech, everything is there for you. Maybe even some questions you get in there in the chat. Let's go up to the desk. It's Sean, it's Adair, special guest Steve Talman, your GlobalX market recap show.
Great time. What taco did you wind up having?
I got a beer.
Ooh, oh, quesadilla.
Yeah,
Ooh, look at you, so
what did you end up
fancy.
getting?
Neil just ordered like the trifecta, so I think it was one of each.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Into there. The fish one was my favorite, of course, so we
Fish is
definitely...
solid. The fish tacos at Gus are really good as well. I've had that. Grilled or fried?
Just...
Whatever it was.
Eaten. I don't remember.
Yeah.
I didn't look at it. I would think it was probably grilled, but I don't know. I don't know. I didn't see it, but it was all sort of torn up there. So it was a good one though. All right. So yeah, right now, what do we have? USO up here right now as well. SLV, silver pulling back in. I don't need necessarily a 1 minute chart, but here we go today. Thank you for joining us one more time. Let me see. What do we have?
And
a
the
date chart in
Beta
there
Pro by GlobalX Market Recap Show.
Yeah, exactly. This
that
market
is
recap show is brought to you by Beta Pro right there on the chat. Make sure on the screen. Make sure you do scan that QR code. Thanks for reminding us there. Adara for that one. Yeah, silver today. I want to talk about that. We didn't get too much involved with this on the main show there, but there goes silver today breaking through. So there it goes, man. Yeah, wow. Good move upside there for SLV. It's sort of been a little bit of the laggard here as we've continued to watch out silver versus gold and whatnot, but there goes SLV today making new moves through the roof. We didn't have too many intraday stories there today. I see that note from you due to lack of intraday stories, but the Qs going out near all-time highs again today, although we did have a little bit of a move down 0.24%. You know, the Nasdaq chopped around. Some of the moves today, if we can call over the stock heat map just real quick. Again, we'll just go over some major names that were moving around. I mean, Google 1.45% as we had that downside push by Google based on the ChatGPT and OpenAI search bar and potential search engine there. I think that does hit Google's business. We've talked about that over and over again. So I think it's a bad sign for Google, but it doesn't mean that that's the only lever they have to push. We also have Amazon right there. That's okay, Neil. You can take that hot sauce, no problem. Yeah, man, take the hot one. If it was any good, take them all, man. Amazon right there down, up, sorry, today. Walmart down, Costco as well. Yeah, there it is. Hey, come on. Yeah, come on the show. There
I don't have a mic on.
Okay.
But I want to say, like, this hot sauce
is good.
It's good. But
this is the hotter one.
This is the hotter one, but
yeah.
it's like a 6 in terms of.
Oh, okay. And the other one's like a 2 or 3. Okay, have a good week with Obi. Yeah, man. Yeah, we will. We will.
Say hi to the fan for me.
We will for sure. Yeah, get home safe there. Don't tear your other Achilles on your way home. Okay, so yeah, that would be bad, right?
That's quite the drastic turn there, Sean.
Yeah, it's called content. All right, so there's Meta right now, 1.34% to the downside right now as well, as we talk a little bit about that one. Tesla up 1.17%. Yeah, I mean, pretty much like as you're looking across all the sectors, and we'll go over the ETF watch in just a minute, but, you know, I think it was maybe technology, some of the names that were held up upside. AMD today for the chip space up 1.57. NVIDIA pulled back a little bit at the end. Apple down today as well. Broadcom down. So it's kind of like a mixed bag as we look. Even these services names, Oracle off of all-time highs, they're down today. Meta, Salesforce, man, these software as service plays, I don't know, some of them are coming off. Have you seen Snowflake lately? Talk about software coming back in. Look at Adobe, down 2% again today. Palo Alto, right? There's the move down on Pan W, not trading that well there on Pan. Adobe also downside, right? We thought they had some misses on their earnings, but that continues to be a problem. As Figma coming, I don't know if we heard about when that's coming, but Figma coming very soon to a Nasdaq near you probably. And that was Adobe sensed that they were eating some of their lunch. They tried to buy them for $20 billion. That got denied. We'll see what they come to market with, Sigma. But Pan W, Salesforce getting hit to the downside. Fortinet again, and there's CrowdStrike. So, you know, as we talk about some of the valuations, some of these names have PAs that are like ridiculous, right? I mean, some of these PEs in the 100 mark. So you got to watch out for that coming to the downside. This is what we're talking about today. Not too many in the green sector, right? We had some marijuana still upside a little bit. I don't know, up 1.7%. Again, just some talk there about new members that are being appointed, some favoring some of the cannabis laws that they're trying to get through there. So we'll see if that ever gets sort of that approval. Today, we actually didn't look at any uranium names, which is kind of weird today. I didn't look at SMR or Okla or anything, but they started to go up to the upside with uranium up 1.3%. Some of the worst ones today, Jets ETF, but we know why. Just a cool down, man. Yesterday we had that big move with Delta, and they had great earnings there. We had AAL upside, so they're coming back down a little bit there with the Jets ETF. TAN, of course, is going to be the solar names as well coming through. But some of the bigger stories today, Amazon pushed higher. I'm just trying to read some of these reports that we had there. Yeah, cloud service names downside. Weakness in tickers like Netflix continues, right? I mean, what's up with that? As Netflix giving some back, pulling right back into the 50. Let's buy some Netflix next week if it continues to go down. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But realistically, it was an IBIT kind of a day until it wasn't. I mean, as far as a day, yes, there's the break. We talked about Bitcoin getting to those all-time highs. But as a trade today for IBIT, let me pull this into a 10-minute chart, give us a little, or yeah, this should give us all day for sure. Pretty flat. Let's go into a 5-minute chart, actually. That should look a little bit better for us right there. IBIT today started the day at these highs, kind of ended where we started, right? The only move today for Bitcoin was actually down. No higher moves today. It came in. Its highest spot there was last night as these charts stopped. Actually, that's 5:40 a.m., I believe. Nice move there to the upside, or that's p.m. Yeah, 7-11. What day is today? 11, yeah. Okay, so that's actually this morning.
It's 7-11 day.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. Did you go to 7-Eleven?
No, I'm going to go after work.
I think you can just bring, is that the one where you can bring any cup and get it filled up?
No, that's bring your own cup day. That's a different day. I don't think bring your own cup day is 7. It's usually a little bit before 7-Eleven. It's usually during like the school year.
What are they doing today then?
I think they're just giving you free Slurpees.
Oh, free Slurpees?
I don't know. That's what Irvine said. Either way, I have rewards, so I'm not worried about paying. You can get, if you accumulate enough points, you can actually get them for free. But that's besides the point.
I did see it. Sometimes we'll go, I don't get the Slurpee, man, way too much sugar for this guy, but the kids sometimes will spoil them and they get one every once in a while, not too often, but it was $2 for like any size Slurpee this summer, so it's like they're getting out of hand there. Yeah, free Slurpee on 7-Eleven, says Mike DeRider. So yeah, and some of the crypto stocks were actually in focus today, right? We talked about some of those names today, including, right, I mean, the big move up there for XRP, right? So Ripple today really gets going there against the US dollar. So boom goes the dynamite, up 12%. And there's the move on the daily for XRP. Again, used for payments, Western Union. There's going to be many more names involved now. I'm going to do some research there, probably not this weekend, but when we get back to see what's going on. And this is almost back to all-time highs again. And you guys know XRP Army, what's up? We were loading this up down into there, selling our Ethereum, getting into Ripple. We did a live on the show, so it's nice to see that bouncing upside as well. We have Cardano, sort of my baby from a long time ago. That's finally starting to go, but again, I'm expecting it to get right back up to 120 before I even think about selling. So a lot of room to go on Cardano. It might not get there, man. Supply is a problem with a lot of these coins, right? So average daily volume right there, 32 million. Today going out at 125. So big time movements there. Only 26 billion on that. That's Cardano, the other one that we wait for. And again, we had Michael Noss on earlier, and of course, he's looking at where is Solana futures. I don't want that. I want Solana versus US dollar. So Solana, there it goes, type it in all the way. There it is, Coinbase. So again, Michael was looking at this $300 mark for that, talking about a double potentially coming there for Solana. And again, this is where we build on top for all those smart contracts. A lot of the meme coins being built over here on Solana. So we'll wait to see if we can get back up there. I think no way some of these things get that high again. If they do, man, I am dumping out on that one. So yeah, man, jam low-key, man, 52 cents there for your level on XRP. Let's go. That's a good one there. Yeah, I feel like that's true of Cardano, man. Maybe I will get out of there and go into something else, as Cardano's kind of just been flat there. So you're watching, I can see on your screen there, President Trump talking. Saying anything worth value to report back?
It's nothing related to the market at all. Melania's here too. The whole gang's here.
Melania's
They're just
there.
in Texas talking about the tragedy happening in Texas. We, of course, extend all of our sympathies to people who are dealing with that in Texas right now, people who know people who are dealing with it in Texas right now. The only news that I've seen, apparently Apple reportedly set to win the rights to stream F1 in the US, but we already kind of got the sense they were going to do that. F1, not the movie, but actual Formula One, though. It is funny that they released that they have this Apple F1 movie, and then they casually want the rights as well. It's a pretty smart segue. AAPL.
Yeah, we were talking about that. I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday, when there was rumors that Apple wanted to get into the F1 game, and I think that they'll probably wind up doing that, pay for those rights. They paid for the rights on MLS and things like that. So, all right, some small cap movers today for those of you that are interested. INKT today, of course. Therapeutics name, they get that report. I can just click on here and see exactly what that was. Therapy cures, testicular cancer. So there it goes right there. 530% there after cell therapy curing, okay, testicular cancer. Wow, that's, that would get you up 700%, which it was up at one point there today. So, you know, we champion anything that's cancer related, as all the money and all the time and all the lives that this has affected. We hope for the best for all of these companies, but INKT has seen nothing like this in its past. And these companies definitely benefit from lower rates, because as they, you know, have to borrow money to develop these cures and these therapies. So that's great to see there on INKT. Okay. $150 million a year for Formula One, that's all?
I don't know that.
That doesn't seem that much. I just heard that right now out of my ear. 150 million to stream the rights. That doesn't seem like enough. Okay, SLNH today, again, Soluna Holdings, another move higher there today. So we'll find out. Surge 36% for no reason for excitement. So I don't know what's going on there. But top tier Bitcoin miner. All right, so there it goes.
It's a day two move.
Yep, day two move. So there goes SLNH there as well. And of course, near the end, I thought we had a nice move for Workhorse there today as well. Yeah, actually, I kind of started off early as well. Workhorse up another 49% today. Nice move there for Workhorse, but they got beat up for a while. Now above $1. We'll see if they can wind up surviving Workhorse. So those are just a couple names there. And then what surprised me today, and it was your trade of the day, it was all over the sticky note, of course, it was Amazon, and we waited for 222, and man, did we get that. We got 222.50. It didn't get into 222, but they had a nice move up there today. As Prime Day, what did you guys buy on Prime Day? Prime Day now over, well, July 11th, I guess, is the last day, so you have a couple more hours to get into some Prime Day deals. I didn't really see too much, although I saw some Amazon. I was trying to look last night just for fun, and I didn't spend enough time on it, but I didn't really see anything there as well. Just to talk quickly about some of those crypto plays, Bitcoin didn't really do too much during the day. We talked about that, but it did have that run. I could see again, I mean, people can do whatever they want with their money. That's for sure, right? I mean, that's the one thing that's the best. I got to move my face a little bit because this Bitcoin chart will be blocked there, Fabian, just for a second. But is that, yeah, that is Fabian over there. Fabian's doing, we have a special announcement to make. I mean, I can talk about it a little bit right now. Fabian is doing a lot of work here with a charity. What's the charity called? Oh, do you want me to show that picture that you sent me? Okay, hold on a second. Fabian has hair down to his rear, I would say right now, and that's probably close, right, Fabian? And he's going to be donating right here. So we set up a GoFundMe. You guys can get into it now, but we're going to be doing this very, very soon with Fabian. There's my guy Fabian right there. We're going to try to get 10 grand for this guy. GoFundMe, Shave for a Smile, funding wigs for kids. So that's, I mean, let's go on that one. Bang, bang, bang on that one. He's going to shave his head live here. We're going to get the charity to come in. Hopefully, we're working on a few things. So we're just showing this early as we go for charity here. There's some kids, and again, we talked about cancer and different things that wind up happening to kids, whether or not they've had surgeries and whatnot, donating that to make a proper wig. So
it's really, it's really
yeah, we had Fahad do that earlier. There, his donation was to going back. I think it was, I can't remember. It wasn't wigs for kids, but it was something similar.
It was a charity or something.
It was a charitable event as well. So we want to say thank you to Fabian for doing that, and that's going to be here live on the show. So as that happens, that's in the upcoming times. We're going to wait to get that. Make sure we're doing everything right and safe and clean and all that, because apparently when you're there it is. What's up, Fabian? Yeah, look at that. It's all coming off, baby, right there. I know.
That's wild.
Yeah, he's going to be handsomer than ever. Once Fahad shaved his head, he's never gone back. He used to have huge hair. Now he's always that like little, one or whatever on your shaver there. So a quarter of an inch or so. So shout out to Fabian, going to be the handsome devil that he is with no hair very soon. And we want to say thank you to that. And this is what we're doing, man. The Chilean nightmare becomes the Chilean king real fast right there. So that should be a lot of fun. All right. Anything else coming before we call on Steve over here?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, just so you guys know, there's nothing too crazy happening. Dr. Phil was just talking at this Texas event, but nothing market moving. Also, Maroon05 wants to know what indicators you use in your chart while trading. I know you use VWAP, and I know you use some MAs as well. Is there any other indicators you use before we bring Steve on? Yeah,
so it's the same things that are on this chart right here, right now. It's a 200-period moving average. I use it on all time frames, to be honest with you, as well as, I mean, look, it worked out pretty good here on Amazon today.
Oh, yeah?
Right back in there. I don't think it would have been there when Amazon was there, but when you look back, it was fine.
It's always retrospective. I find
that's the thing, better. Especially with EMAs, when you look back at it, it's like, oh, why didn't I trade that? But at the time, but anyways, 200, thanks, great question. I use SMAs, I don't know, just because instead of exponential. But yeah, just very, very simple like that. Simple man, simple averages. 200 period right there, and the 50 period moving average. So I use them on all time frames and just try to make it as simple as possible. But for me, Adair, they have to match with support and resistance levels. I just don't take it just because. It's when they... Yeah, when they all kind of line up is when, it's kind of like when you get the average daily volume, right? We don't want to trade stocks unless they're kind of trading more volume than normal on that one.
Yes.
There it is. Thank you so much, David. But one thing I have to tell you guys is, obviously we know that YouTube and Google takes a percentage of these super chats. What I'm going to say is there's 20 bucks for you, Fabian, but what we're going to do is save these, okay? I did not, that's part of why I didn't want to let the cat out of the bag. But David, thank you so much for that. There is going to be an episode. We'll probably spend a couple days during a week where we will be promoting this, and we'll want you to go to that GoFundMe. So most of the money can get donated that way. But thank you so much for that, man. We will say, you know, obviously my hat's off to you. I can't donate any here, but thank you so much to David for that one, and we'll be donating financially to help Fabian
Trump
out.
just called the reporter evil. Sorry to cut off the donation.
That's it? Evil's not that bad.
I didn't really hear the question but I need to go back and find out what that question was. Either way, he's answering questions right now, guys. I just wanted to mention that before Steve comes on, and I'm gonna, if there's anything massive or market related, I will obviously drop what is being said in the chat. You guys know how I do. But for now, I guess we're gonna thank our special guest or bring him on maybe.
Yeah, we do have our special guest. Well, he's been on here many times, but this course segment once again brought to you by Global X and Beta Pro. It's called Trader Talk, and it's today with Steve Tomlin. Let's bring him in. Mr. Tileman, how are you doing on a day like today as we head into the weekend?
Oh, I am doing great. All of the Bitcoin names are ripping. I am as happy as a clam. How about you today?
Yeah, same way, man. I mean, it's been such a great moment for many traders here live on the show today. I mean, whether or not, but the thing is, we actually talked about that. Bitcoin didn't actually do much intraday. I mean, a lot of that movement, of course, happened overnight. How do you wind up trading that? Do you hold some coins on exchange, and that way you can sort of maybe trade it in and out because it's a 24-hour market, and we know, you know, ETFs like IBIT or ETHA or some of the other names that you and I have talked about here on the show, of course, maybe not open other than Blue Ocean or some overnight trade. Do you, you don't have to answer this if you don't want to, but do you hold any coin on exchange to trade when these moves happen, or do you wait maybe for the next day and trade some of these ETFs?
Well, I'll be honest. For me, Bitcoin plays are almost always swings. So I have my Bitcoin that I'm not touching, and that just keeps on climbing. And then I'll take intraday or swing trades off of things like MicroStrategy I'm in right now, and a few other names. But for the most part, I just buy either the beginning or the end of the day if it's a longer term move, and otherwise just wait for my levels intraday and let the swing work.
Yeah, MicroStrategy, I remember, that's right. You and I, we had talked about that before. We always get questions about MicroStrategy, and there it is right now, breaking through as well. Does it concern you at all that MicroStrategy, I guess MicroStrategy is at all-time highs right now. I mean, we got that little blowout right there. There are some traders that were saying that it doesn't follow Bitcoin, but I think today, obviously, that's quite clear that it does. We've now kept on going higher there. Nice little 3% move in MicroStrategy as opposed to, what did we get in IBIT? Well, we actually got 4% there in IBIT at the end of the day today. So yeah, good call there on MicroStrategy. I have to ask you about a few things, because when we had you on last week, we were talking about Big Bear AI, and we had talked about how much we had liked that name. There's a couple other AI names that you had brought to our attention, of course, and very popular ones as well, including, of course, SoundHound you brought to our attention, and there was C3 AI. And look, this is not as swing trades, we're not going to necessarily get out of them in a couple days. But what's your opinion here, especially on a SoundHound that's maybe pulled back the most there from 13 back down to 11? Are they still looking like buys to you? Have we changed maybe our tone a little bit on some of these? I know I'm still a bull, so we can go back and forth about that. But yeah, right now, I think these might be getting into areas where maybe we take a shot and average in here if we don't have any, or maybe start a little bit of a position on some of these names. What's your take on some of the AI plays this week?
Absolutely. So I positioned in SoundHound myself, and when we swept that previous high, I was trimming out. Let me pull that chart up. So let me show you what I've been doing. So we got this break of market structure on the breakthrough here. My target was, I was getting long, I forget exactly where, somewhere in this pivot, around 1050, I want to say. And I took half of my position off at 1265. I'm now watching this gap here. I think it's going to be really interesting to see if we can hold the 9 EMA here. That held pretty cleanly. We also have confluence with the back test of this kind of double topping structure before, and the gap as well. So if it can flag out here for a couple days, I would love to get in. If it reclaims, sorry for the messy chart here, but if it reclaims this green hourly trigger, so right around $12 probably, where I'll be looking for kind of a failed breakdown and a flag break on this guy.
Okay. All right. Sorry, we had a little bit of problem with the volume there. I did hear what you were saying at the end of that. You had trimmed some of that position there, 1265. So a good little look there. And we were showing your chart. So thank you for that, Steve, as well. Okay, we touched a little bit on crypto. Today for the Nasdaq, I mean, we sort of went through the chart. It looked like a very, very mixed board there today. You know, some of the tech names winners, some of the tech names losers. We had Amazon getting to the high side there a little bit. AMD outpacing NVDA again. Anything about that relationship? I mean, AMD's been on a nice little run as of late, and obviously so has NVIDIA. AMD still has $100 to go before we get back to all-time highs over there. I'm not sure that's going to happen, and if that does, then I wonder where NVIDIA will be at that time when the whole, you know, if AMD ever gets back to 240, then yeah, watch out for, obviously, for NVIDIA's price at that point. But do you like anything other than those two names? Or we could talk about either one of those. It just seems like the semis have definitely been helping us in the last little bit. I think they're up 30% for the month or something like that. So we've had a big move in the SMH and the SOX-L. Broadcom, Intel had a decent move today. Is there any sort of a chip name that maybe you've been talking about, some of your former traders or other traders that you're dealing with right now? Anything you look at in the chip space?
Yeah, you know, it's an interesting space. I'll be honest, this is a move that I missed the most of. I missed basically the entire move of the past month in chips. It just hasn't really been on my radar. There are a few names that were lagging that I would like to see push out of their bases, but I've also got burnt so many times trying to buy these laggards in a sector that's maybe just starting to peak. So personally, I like sophomore a little more, but I do like A-Lab is a very interesting one to me.
Okay.
Stera Labs. It's got a really nice base forming. It's just taking forever. So I've been getting chopped back and forth around break even from 93-ish for about 3 weeks now while the other chips have been making their move. So this is one that I'm watching for that, but it's not a super high conviction setup just because it hasn't been acting right when the rest of the chips were.
You know what, that A-Lab there, yeah, on the daily chart, I have it up as well right here. I mean, that's actually looking pretty good. You're right, a lot of consolidation happening there. Unfortunately, I don't know enough about Astera to comment about where I think that one's going. But yeah, great look there, holding the 200 and holding the 50 period. So for that one, you get a stock blitz. There we go, nice move on that one, Steve. As we get like, we got a couple cool little bumpers and graphics happening right there. So that's stock blitz. And we just had the Trade the Pool ad up there, of course. You're with Trade the Pool, an analyst over there at Trade the Pool. Everybody can scan that QR code right there, right now. Grab 10% off as we go. So thank you so much for being on with us here again today. I don't know, man. We talked about some metals. We got that surprise tariff on copper. I think it was Monday or Tuesday, where President Trump was like, yeah, I think we'll go about 50% on copper. I feel like he just pulled that out of the air. We did have a move in copper, but I don't know if you saw silver today, if you heard me talking about it. Maybe you did anyways. Wow, what a move up there for silver. I actually don't really know what the catalyst was there, but when we're talking, especially with a guy like yourself, and we're looking at charts, does the catalyst matter? I mean, there it is, a breaking out on the daily chart. I even go over here on the weekly chart, and yeah, it's just looking even better there. Let's check out the monthly, how that looks, and right into there. This is what I was looking for, Steve. We go all the way back. This is 2012 right there. At that point, I only had one kid, but right into there, silver breaking through some of those levels right now. Do we like this for a continuation? Is it a profit spot? What do you think about SLV or silver miners or anything in the space as SLV right now looking like it wants to break out as well?
Hey, you mentioned, do we like it for continuation or is it a take profit spot? I think it's both.
Okay.
So we have a major pivot, like you mentioned, from 2012. These are areas where it's very important to keep an eye on what's happening. We also have the top of what looks like a Livermore accumulation cylinder, I think they're referred to, where it just kind of grinds up in one of these upwards kind of expanding patterns. We hit the major target here. We have to watch and see if it can hold. I think it's probably going much higher. I think this looks reminiscent to gold when it was doing that massive, I'll pull that up real quick, that massive like 15-year cup and handle.
Right.
This whole structure right here. So I think we kind of surged up and we hit the cup. Let me pull silver back. We surged up and we hit this cup. I kind of ignore this blow off move here. I think maybe it will be a short-term take profit spot as we start to flag out. You can't bet against this the strength though. So I'll be looking at some of the stronger miners and seeing if we can get some continuation on there. AEM in particular looks pretty nice to me. It's getting a nice consolidation look here. It's holding a flattened daily trigger. This blue line here is very important for me. So this one's setting up, and it's on my watch list for next week for sure. Great idea looking at silver space there.
Yeah, I think that was a good one. I was just looking today. I was like, oh my gosh, that itself was up 4%. You don't see it too often, especially with gold kind of. Oh, gold's up 1% today, so another good one. I was going to ask you, because I know that you work with a lot of traders, and I was going to say, like, what is the one common sort of mistake or maybe trait that traders have that you feel like you help them correct? Like what is their one thing if a trader came to you and was frustrated with some of their trading, other than bringing it back down to the basics, and maybe that is the answer, but what is something that a frustrating trader, because often we get on the show, it's like, great, they can see maybe I'm making money or Steve's making money or has all these great calls or Adair or any of us, or making or losing. But what is something, if I could say, what is one or two sort of ideas that a trader can work on in order to become a little more successful? I know it's very individualistic, but maybe on a broader discussion.
Such a great question. So I think that there are a few kind of psychological aspects that kind of impact all of us. Like you said, everybody has their own kind of Achilles heel. But what I see the most is fear and greed. And so if you can manage those two emotions, which I think is one of my strong points, that can be a big game changer for your game. It was for me. For me, I could always see the patterns pretty well, but it was so hard to stick to a game plan, right? So personally, my system and what I like to use really focuses on confirming that a move is bullish and then waiting for a back test into some key level to actually enter. So by framing a trade like that, you're not sad when it breaks out, you're happy, and you're just waiting for your setup where it comes back down to your risk level. Yeah, I think that's the best thing I could give to traders, just working on that fear and the greed.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, after watching you now on the show for many, many weeks, can tell that you're very, even keeled and very, positive and a great positive attitude. And again, looking for things to happen. If they don't, we get out. If they do, we continue the plan, right? I think developing a plan and then sticking to it. And that's something that's definitely worked for me, even as an experienced trader, sticking to a few names, making sure that certain setups are hit, and when they are, we go for it. And, and just suffer the fate of, unfortunately, in the stock market, every time you're hitting a buy key, basically someone else is hitting a sell key. So you're always going back and forth, and especially with a lot of the algos that are in there right now, we got to take advantage of how we feel emotionally as humans instead of just trading against these machines, of course, which do not have any emotions. All right, Steve, man, we're getting ready to wrap it up, man. My kids are away. They're at a summer camp this week, and this is my last day alone with the wife. So we're going out. We're going out for Indian food tonight, so we're really excited for that one. What would be a dish if you were going out with a significant other or something like that? What cuisine would you guys favor? Thai food, or what's something that you would go look for on a Friday night?
You read my mind. I was literally about to say Thai food. That sounds so good. I might have to go there after after my little. We're doing the webinar, by the way.
Right, that was my next.
You guys like the stuff we're talking about psychology? We're talking about that on our webinar in about 10 minutes over at Trade the Pool. So I'd love it if you guys could come and join me and hang out.
Perfect. There it is right there. That was my next question. Where can they find you? We do know that you have a new Twitter handle. We tried to look around, but I don't think you posted anything on it, have you?
Not yet. This week's been absolutely crazy. I'll get some good tweets out for you this weekend. I promise, guys. Give me a follow. You won't be disappointed.
There it is. We have it actually at the bottom right now, Steve. So go find it right there. You've got your own little bumper now with everything there. So go find Steve at Trade the Pool. Pretty cool stuff. And you're live in 10 minutes. So again, to you and everybody over there, I don't know if Mitch is going to be there, who's going to be there today, but say hi from their friend Sean and the whole team here at Trader TV Live. And again, thank you for everything that you guys do. And we'll make sure that everybody goes out and checks out Trade the Pool. And your handle on X, just nothing there yet, but he'll post very, very soon. Thank you again, Steve.
Thanks so much. Have a great weekend.
Ciao, that's Steve Tileman. Great guy.
Thank you, Steve.
Yeah, we didn't cut over to Adair there. She was listening to Donald to say if anything had happened, but
nothing has really happened. Other than him calling that reporter evil, that was really the only thing that happened of note. He actually has
Be rude.
Well, yeah, I'm sorry, Donald. But you haven't even answered most of these questions, Don. It's mostly been like Ted Cruz, or at one point Dr. Phil said some things. So yeah, Trump
Isn't Dr. Phil one of the?
He's related to the administration. So is Dr. Oz.
Right,
two
one of them
doctors
is yeah.
in this
I know, it's so wild, man. You know what? You know who they should hire, like Department of Justice or something? They should just get Judge Judy. Get Judy Scheinlin in there. She could be like the, you know.
I don't think she'd do it, but I love Judge Judy, and I would love to just.
Sometimes the wife and I will just sit down and it's like, if there's nothing on, I've even watched Judge Judy episodes like multiple times.
Yeah, because it's so entertaining. And like her, like A, the cases are funny, and B, her just being over everything at all times.
Yeah. She has the answer to everything.
She's a good sense of humor about life. I like her.
All right, we're having an absolutely great time here. So I'm gone for the next 7 days. So shout out to Obi and Neil to be taking the reins. Adara, do you have any time off next week? Next week, are you have any time off? Or
no, it's the week after.
Right, the week after. Yeah. Okay, so Daryl will be here, Sharif will be here, Joe, I think, and the team.
I'm not going to see you for 2 weeks, I just realized, because when the day you come back is the day I leave.
Lucky you, I guess. You don't have to worry about me for a minute, but okay, no, that's all good. So yeah, enjoy your day. How long are you gone for?
Gone for 3 days.
Oh, 3 days. Okay, going back home or just chilling?
Yes, actually going back.
Perfect. That's the best thing to do. Okay, I was thinking. Normally, you know, we end the show with something cute and fun to do. We did the last time I was on, which I think it was yesterday, wasn't it? We talked about our favorite foods. We just asked that again. We've talked about tacos and things like that. But because today is 7-Eleven day, if you were to get a Slurpee, this is the Slurpee machine. What kind of flavors are you doing?
I do swamp water all the time, every time. You gotta have some like caffeinated. It's me. I gotta have some caffeinated related ones. Any kind of like the orange whatever crushes, I'll do those. I don't like banana. I don't mess with like some.
There's banana Slurpees. I didn't even realize that.
They do make them. I don't mess with them.
No.
But yeah, I mean, if it's like swamp water though, for sure. What about you? What would your?
Well, what I used to get them all the time. Not all the time, but like
enough.
When I was younger, especially after baseball games, things like that. I don't know if they still have it, but I like the Sprite or 7-Up one.
That's what I was thinking. They don't have that much anymore. Certain places do, but those.
Is there Mountain Dew ones? Like.
Okay, so they have Mountain Dew, but now I've noticed more often than not. I'm in Sev a lot, guys. That's fine. Like I don't get Slurpees a lot, but in the they have like a blue. They've got different flavor now.
Yeah. Okay. All right, man. Thank you so much to everybody again for today. Thank you, Fabian, for that. We got a special announcement about Fabian. We already talked about that. That's going to be really cool coming up. And thank you to everybody. Today was the drill episode. We had a lot of drilling going on between 8:30 and 9:30. We want to thank everybody for your patience on that one. But you should see what's behind that curtain. That didn't sound that good, but there's a lot of stuff happening behind there. It's going to be real fun for that as we get ready to sort of display and show you what Studio 8 is going to be all about, bigger and better coming. So thank you to everybody. Go have a great weekend. That's Adara. I'm Sean. I'll see you in a couple weeks.
See you guys.